Hello, everyone. Uh, Son of a bitch.
Is everyone doing too much gear? And can the same results come from less? So here's the deal. Testosterone only works if two conditions are met. Inflammation stays low enough for protein synthesis, and iron's balanced so oxygen fuels growth. And on cycle, most fail to keep CRP low and ferritin in check. Instead, they forget all that and just like to push the dose higher, whereby the side effects just hit harder and the gains turn out rented. But if you play things smart, have a phase to unlock the right pathways so the anabolics can build real strength, then move into phase 2 where we're priming biology for a greater response, and following that phase 3, and that is where size, power and an edge is built without wrecking the health, and the result is less strain, more gain. Okay lads, that's it. You got the 3 phases, you know what to do. I will see you in the next one. Unless you want to learn how to get bigger on half the gear safely. Okay, so here's where it starts. We need to clear the first block in phase 1, which is inflammation, and the marker is CRP. If it's over 1, your body's on fire and protein synthesis drops 20%. If you train 5 days a week, one of those workouts just got erased. Remember, every point above 1 adds about 7% more heart risk. That's why having a blood work principle, where you check it each month, really does decide the winners from the losers. ALT at 100. Forget Anavar, let alone Winstrol, because the liver is already waving the white flag. And if you have ferritin over 350 and CRP is high, inflammation is locking down your iron. So bring that up with IP6 to clear the fire before you consider adding more test or more DECA. Is your homocysteine high? Might be time to stack some B12, folate, P5P, choline, trimethylglycine, as those supplements are going to help you unlock methylation. What the hell is methylation? It's your body's switch for turning things on or turning things off. So when it goes wrong, toxins go up, hormones misfire, and the risk of disease will increase. Now when these weak links are fixed, the drugs, they can finally hit. But more gear.
Spaghetti and such. What are you doing, Gum Gum? Great.
Name one case of a botched victim being reimbursed for what happened to them. Name one. Name one court case where a law firm or legal group represented a botched victim from plastic surgery and won the case and was compensated for what happened to them. I haven't found one. I don't know if it even exists. And that's what you have to understand before going into any plastic surgery. Out of the God knows how many tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people have been botched from plastic surgery, is there one case of the legal system giving actual justice? Or is the whole system bought and paid for by these evil doctors that are butchering people for money? It's insane. It's insane. These people should be out of business.
Is he gonna, like, shut up and stop whining at some point? Is there ever gonna be a point in the future where he stops crying about the same thing over and over and over again? Or is this just what he does now?
It's so crazy to me how this doctor has so many people making up outrageous lies and stories to protect his reputation. One of the main ones I've seen repeated over and over again that these people are trying to make as the narrative is that I forced Dr. Taban to perform these 4 procedures on me. Dr. Taban said it was unsafe, but I insisted, and that's why I got botched. When the opposite is what actually happened. I went to this doctor. I asked him what procedures he thought could improve my appearance. I trusted him. And at one point,
he's lying. He made a video where he admitted he was the one who insisted on that orbital reconstruction surgery. Dr. Taban told him not to do it, and he insisted.
At one point, I even asked him straight up, are you sure it's safe to do all these procedures at once? How come no one else is doing all 4 procedures at once? Are you more skilled or whatever it is? And that's what he basically said. He said, I'm more skilled, I'm experienced in doing all 4 procedures at once, and guess what? He botched every single one of them on my face. And it's completely crazy how he's trying to spin the story now.
Yeah, he literally made that horseshit up. Any plans for this winter? I don't know what you fucking mean by that. I have a shovel outside. Have you been skiing or snowboarding? No, I haven't been doing that.
Hey VG, you never streamed last night. What happened that made you fall asleep so soon?
I got tired after I trained, and then I slept for a very long time. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo. So, apparently, some of this shit is just hilarious. So, Mike fucking made the claim that he accidentally submitted the wrong thing into the university, and the one that got reviewed was the right one. It turns out that's not the case. The PhD dissertation that Solomon Nelson reviewed was actually the right one. So Mike handed in complete and utter fucking trash to his university, and he got a passing grade from it. It also seems that he's like just flat out lying about fucking everything, because he claimed a better edited version of his PhD thesis was the rough draft, and the final draft that he handed in was the piece of garbage. So that seems like it's a complete and utter fucking lie, because he ended up getting exposed for uploading an edited draft way after the fact, after Solomon Nelson made his fucking video. So he ended up getting caught red-handed, uploaded a better version that he fixed. Like, this is just a hilarious dude.
Trained, I thought you said you were just eating last night and said you would be on in an hour. What happened to Will just eating?
I fell asleep right after I ate, and I couldn't wake up. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
Since Isaac is moving in, Gig will move in also. The 3 of us boys will have so much fun. Also, since I'm mod, I'll be happy to accept half the revenue from each stream. Matter of fact, make that 75%. Type 1 in chat if you are gay.
I don't think we're going to be having that arrangement, but thanks for the donation gig. Oh, jeez. Why is Milo Wolf doing this? Like this is so fucking weird and bizarre. This is like Dr. Mike's problem. Why the fuck is he doing this dumb shit with Mike where he's helping cover his ass? Like, it's so strange. YouTuber Solomon Nelson made a critique video of my officially posted dissertation. The dissertation was 1/3 of my PhD classwork. Sorry, PhD classwork and athlete coaching being the other 2/3 combined, so this was a big deal. I had no intention of responding because A, I wasn't going to doubt that my 12-year-old dissertation had plenty of errors. That's putting it fucking mildly, dude. Sounded on brand for me. Solomon has a long history of making hate content about me. It's not hate content, it's just criticism, and I almost never respond to bad faith critiques. Right. If you watch any of his fucking videos, they're not bad faith critiques. He, like, wow, this is just childish. Made plenty of those myself, and I don't expect folks to respond to them, as Coach Greg says. It's all just WWE. Dr. Milo Wolf reached out to have me on a response video on his channel and asked me to send over my dissertation. I sent him multiple files because I legitimately didn't know which one was the right file after 12 years. That is just a bizarre thing. Like, what kind of horse shit is this? So he's literally saying he rewrote the same document over and over and over again? Like what? Does that make sense to anybody? Like, when you're working on a computer, you just revise the document that you already had written out, and then you save it, and then if it needs any more revisions, you revise it, and then you save it. Why are there like 20 different files on your fucking computer of the same fucking document? Like, this is just horse shit. This guy is just a fucking liar. And by the way, I said he would make up the stupid excuse. I literally called it. Dan donated $2. Let me see. Yeah, somebody already sent me that. Thanks for the donation, Dan.
Never mind, does not matter, you're here tonight, and since you are here, did you hear that Israel has stopped Greta from entering Palestine again?
The global
Yes, I heard about that.
Mood flotilla was the biggest ever attempt to break Israel's illegal and inhumane siege by sea. And it is a story of global, international solidarity of people.
You know, I'm pretty sure if somebody tested her IQ, it would be retarded. Like, I'm sure it's gotta be in the 80s, you know? Like, this is just right on that borderline retard shit.
People stepping up when our governments failed to do so. Of people saying that my leaders, so-called leaders who are supposed to represent me, who continue to fuel a genocide, death and destruction, they do not represent me. And this is a last resort, that this mission has to exist. It's a shame. It is a shame.
Gay.
And I could talk for a very, very long time about our mistreatment and abuses in our imprisonment, trust me. But that
Well, dude, being autistic doesn't make you a retard. This is just retarded. Like, autism, you know, it's like, you know, being really good at chess but having trouble tying your shoes or something. Like, this is just fucking retarded.
that is not the story. What happened here was that Israel, while continuing to worsen and escalate their genocide and mass destruction with genocidal intent, attempting to erase an entire population, an entire nation in front of our very eyes, they once again violated international law by preventing humanitarian aid from getting into Gaza while people are being starved. This genocide.
Well, she keeps saying the same buzzwords over and over again, so I don't think we have to finish watching that. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. Dr. Milo Wolf reached out to have me on a response video on his channel, asked me to send over my dissertation, blah, blah. Upon looking over the files, Milo found one file that he suspected due to very different formatting, longer paper length, and tracked corrections was actually the closer one to the final version of the dissertation. He included that file in our video response and linked it as well with my permission. I was on that vid, and we both claimed that Solomon was, through no fault of his own, likely critiquing a less than updated dissertation. I did not double check to see how the files compared before Mile posted them. This is 100% on me and me alone. This was in no part deception and every part pure negligence by me. Big mistake, very sloppy seconds, Mike. A few days later, I dove into the files, realized the version of the dissertation Milo posted was actually an even older version than the one Solomon critiqued.
Well, Greta is right, she is no hero, she is a villain.
Yes, that is true. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. So, again, does this make any sense to anybody? Oh, look, I found a version of my paper that has all these corrections. It's a longer length. The citations make sense. Like, all the errors in the paper were corrected. How is that older? So he's telling everybody that he found a more correct version of his PhD dissertation, and over some course of time, you know, while working on his PhD dissertation, he deliberately made everything worse and more retarded. How? Like, this guy is bullshitting. He is just so full of fucking shit. He tried to pull a fast one. Oh, this wasn't actually, you know, the real, you know, PhD dissertation. It was a rough draft that he has. Tried to pull a fast one. Everyone caught it. It didn't work. And now he has to come up with a stupid fucking excuse. So now the story is, oh, I made a mistake. Over time, I just deliberately went out of my way to make my paper worse over time. And I added in errors. I changed the citations and the formatting to be more dumb and have grammatical errors. And then I handed that in after I deliberately went out of my way to make my own fucking paper worse. Sure, buddy. Like, this guy is such a fucking liar. Oh my god, this is just retarded. Just this morning, my doctoral advisor sent me the latest version of my committee-reviewed dissertation from 2013 that he was able to find in his email. Didn't have this version in my files when all this happened, but it does have most of the stats corrected, so it appears as if not only Was the dissertation that's currently in the university portal the incorrect version because I uploaded the wrong file 12 years ago? 100%, but my initial assumption that this older file might be the more correct file was also wrong. Yeah, okay, dude. Sure. Sure. I, like, by the way, why the fuck... So, this is his Instagram reel? Why the fuck is all this horse shit on Milo Wolf's fucking Instagram stories? Like, why the fuck isn't Mike doing this? Like, what is this weird relationship here? Like this... So, yeah... Mike's a lying fraud. Why is he getting his buddy to upload this horse shit on his Instagram? Why the fuck isn't this on his own Instagram? Like, everything is just so fishy here. He's just full of shit. Team and K, donate $2. I know you hate these retarded questions, but I'm looking to buy a small rack for my apartment. Already have a bench. It's on sale. What do you think? This looks like a complete worthless piece of shit. What does this weigh? Like, I just want to know, that's the same page, right? Yeah, fuck. Yeah, I'm assuming, why in the fuck doesn't it give a, any information on how much this weighs? Yeah, don't buy this. It's a piece of garbage. So, here's the thing. You need a certain weight of steel in order to handle a given weight. So, if this only weighs, like, 50 pounds, that's a dead giveaway. Like, there just isn't enough mass of steel to hold any real weight. I don't know, are those spotter arms, or are those are the J hooks? And yeah, what the fuck? 8-inch long safety spotters? Like, this thing is a joke. Don't buy this piece of trash. So, yeah, it says 400-pound max load on the safety hook. It has a plate holder, so presumably to prevent it from tipping over. And it's angled. It's not perfectly upright. That's extraordinarily unusual. This is some Alibaba fucking garbage trash. And they're deliberately hiding how much this thing actually weighs. So, this is probably not even made out of steel. It's probably made out of Chinesium or aluminum or something. And it only weighs like 50 pounds, if that. So don't buy this. It's a piece of crap. It's just absolute trash. Thanks for the donation, TMNK.
Caesar the chimp from the new Planet of the Apes is more of a heroic character than her.
That is true. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
something really, really interesting, something new, a new information about Mike Sommerfeld and his height. His weight and his height, and how the hell was he actually managing to make the weight all this time. So as you guys know, at this point Mike Sommerfeld admitted multiple times in his YouTube videos, on his Instagram posts, that his height is in fact only 170 centimeters. At least it was 4 years ago. I mean, officially it was 173, but really it was 170. And that video, those posts, they were all from a couple of years ago. After that, he got much, much bigger, and apparently now he's allowed to weigh 212 pounds. How is that possible? That is the big mystery. Nobody knows. Did he grow in height? Did he do something to cheat? Does he have an inside man?
Hey, you have a video where you're cooking tofu, right? Because I've been buying it already cooked and seasoned and it's too expensive and fattening. Do you still have that video up?
You just fry it in a pan. You cut it into squares. You can put like one of those spray things on the pan so you add very little oil. And then you just fry it on the pan. You know, you cook on low, medium heat. Then you flip it over a few times. And then that's how you cook tofu.
And speaking of Palestine.
I'll look at that in a second. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. And you can just add whatever sauce you want. I just put some Korean barbecue sauce on it, but that's it. Like, there's no recipe video on my channel, because what's the point? It's basically like teaching somebody how to boil fucking water. Thanks for the donation, though, Viva now.
Seinfeld, it turns out, is a racist and thinks, no, Palestinians should be forever enslaved by Israel.
I couldn't fucking care less. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. TMNK, okay, thanks, Lil. Do you have a better suggestion? Yeah, buy a fucking actual rack. So I know these questions are annoying as fuck, but I'm probably gonna buy it tomorrow. Do you have, don't have a ton of space in my apartment. Check out Bells of Steel. They have some decent stuff. But you need to just buy, like, a squat rack or a half rack that just has enough steel to be able to handle, like, a decent amount of weight. So, Bells of Steel, you can check them out. Titan Fitness might have some stuff that's decent. Even Amazon has some, like, decent racks here and there. So, if you can find, like, a 2x3 or 3x3 rack with that's, like, heavy enough, so something that weighs, like, around 150 pounds plus, then, you know, it's fine. Thanks for that donation, though, TMK.
Or whatever. Well, in today's video, we actually have an explanation. Do you guys remember this person here in Mike's photos in the background? He was there pretty much in every photo of Mike in his Arnold Classic prep. He was helping him, I guess, with training and with posing. His name is Ben Hüller, if that's how you pronounce his last name. And he's a famous German old school bodybuilder, and he was working with Mike for a long time. There are a whole bunch of photos of Mike with him. Now, Mike's coach is Neil Hill. But this guy was Mike's mentor of a sort. He was training him, they were posing together, this and that. And today we have some very, very interesting information coming from this guy who was in Mike's camp for a long, long time. Now, I don't think these guys are working together anymore because there are no photos on Mike's account, not anymore. So I'm thinking they probably had some sort of an argument.
Shut up!
Viel gelabert, wir waren Tag und Nacht zusammen, lalala, egal. Hat mir erzählt, du, pass auf, mit meiner Größe, die haben festgestellt, dass meine Wirbelsäule ziemlich krumm ist. Und es gibt da wahrscheinlich eine Möglichkeit, wie ich die gerade machen lassen kann und dadurch einige Zentimeter größer werde. Okay? Und ich sage, ja. Und dann kann ich nämlich 2,12 wiegen. Und ich dachte, ja, das ist ja super. Das wäre genial. Und dann hat der liebe...
This story doesn't make any fucking sense. If you have mild, what is it called? Scoliosis or kyphosis or whatever. They don't perform surgery on it because there's no way to make any corrections to a spine that's only mildly crooked. If your spine's really fucked up, like you have one of those crazy scoliosis cases where like you see an obvious curve in the spine, then surgery may be worth it because it's very easy to make actual improvements to the fucking structure of the spine. If there's only a mild curve where it just twists a little bit in, you know, any particular direction, there's no guarantee that, one, the surgery is going to actually improve clinical outcomes, and two, there's also no guarantee that they're actually going to be able to straighten your spine. They might be able to move it, but it might move in like a different direction, or the change won't stay. So this sounds like fucking bullshit. Dodo donated $2. Let me see. China has not invaded a single country in history. Last time China fought anyone was in 1979, self-defense. Yeah. Yeah.
With Vietnam, we stopped fighting to win. We would have won easy. We would have won Afghanistan easy. Would have won every war easy. But we got politically correct. Let's take it easy. We're not politically correct anymore, just so you understand. We win. Now we win. We don't want...
I don't understand. Him saying this makes that much less sense because he was fucking president during, you know, the Afghanistan mission. He's ultimately the whole fucking reason Joe Biden had to do that really dirty pullout. So what the fuck is he talking about? So he's saying he used to be politically correct? Like, fucking Trump.
Want to be politically correct anymore. And history will never forget that it was the SEALs who stormed the compound at Osama bin Laden and put a bullet in his head. Remember that? And please remember, I wrote about Osama bin Laden exactly 1 year ago, 1 year before he blew up the World Trade Center. And I said, you got to watch Osama bin Laden.
I'm pretty sure Trump had no idea who fucking Osama bin Laden was pre 9/11.
And the fake news would never let me get away with that statement unless it was true. But I said 1 year before to Pete Hegseth, I said 1 year before, where's Pete? In the book, I wrote, whatever the hell the title, I can't tell you. But I can tell you there's a page in there devoted to the fact that I saw somebody named Osama bin Laden, and I didn't like it, and you got to take care of him. And they didn't do it. A year later, he blew up the World Trade Center, so...
He's claiming he could have prevented 9/11 if people listened to him.
Got to take a little credit because nobody else is going to give it to me.
Dude, he needs to be locked up. Like, this guy has lost it.
You know the old story? They don't give you credit, just take it yourself. And it was the U.S. Navy that dumped his wretched corpse off the decks of the Carl Vinson to sink into the dark abyss.
Like, this is some of the most crazy, unhinged shit I've ever heard him say.
Vegan gains raging here.
The guy paid you $5,000 to fuck his non-vegan wife. Would you do it?
Probably not. It's not really enough money. Thanks for the donation, dude. Nothing about his story adds up. It sounds like complete fucking bullshit. So, he's full of crap. He went to a shitty, garbage fucking school. Steroids. Congratulations.
Okay, that's a terrible video. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Hey VG, I was watching your streams from a few days ago and I noticed you were dozing off a bit. I have the same problem because I often work overtime so I can buy my wife nice things.
That's nice. Thanks for the donation. Dodo donated $2. They dragged little Greta by her hair before our eyes, beat her, and forced her to kiss the Israeli flag. People are actually claiming this. Oh my god.
How did Muhammad produce the Quran?
Yes.
Well, he could have drawn on existing oral traditions, poetry, religious ideas from his environments, things like that.
To produce this book over 23 years in the way it is.
Yeah. The Quran reflects the culture and influences of the 7th century Arabia, right? That's what it does.
Oh my god. Have you read the Quran?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing you read in the Quran? What was the thing you thought, wow, that makes sense, that's good?
One of the most interesting things I've read is the emphasis on justice and compassion in the Quran. That I like that.
And what was the thing you hated?
Good. Thing that I hated? Actually, a lot of things I hated.
Name
So
the worst. I struggled. Name
with
the worst
verses.
thing in the Quran.
So I struggled with the verses about the harsh punishments in warfare. That they're hard to reconcile with the compassion I found elsewhere in the text, right?
What's the worst thing in the Quran you found?
For example, verses about cutting off hands for thieves or fighting non-believers.
Cutting off hands for thieves. That's
Yep.
the worst thing you found.
Yeah.
What do you think punishment for thieves should be?
What I think the punishment for thieves should be? Well, I've actually studied justice a little bit, and I don't think it should focus on rehabilitation and restitution. That's what it should be.
Thank you for the boring
How did
video
Muhammad produce the
you sent
Quran?
me.
Why would you follow a prophet and say he didn't commit any?
I have finally invented an algorithm that turns any image into Obama. It works by taking every pixel in the image and then it literally finds the mathematically optimal way to rearrange the pixels to make them look like this picture of Obama, which is then fed into a fluid dynamics physics simulation that moves the pixels into the perfect Obama arrangement. Now, you might wonder, how is this useful at all? And I wonder that too, so I used it to make this state-of-the-art drawing program that slowly turns whatever you're drawing into Obama. This is really useful because, like, when you're drawing something, but like when you're drawing, you forget that like what you actually want to draw is Obama. It's too.
That does sound useful.
$2,200 American servicemen killed at Pearl Harbor. We go on to kill 3.5 million Japanese, including 100,000 in one night. 2,800 Americans in 9/11. We go on to kill 400,000 people in Afghanistan and Iraq. We weren't accused of genocide. You had, if Mexico had elected a jihadist cartel to run their country, and then they incurred into Texas, and on a per capita basis killed 35,000 people, or the population of the University of Texas, and on the way back took the freshman class at SMU hostage and hid them under tunnels, what would we do? It'd be the great Sonora radioactive parking lot. But Jews are not allowed, and Israel is not allowed to prosecute a war. And they are prosecuting a war more humanely than we have done. The ratio of combatants to civilians is, of civilian death to combatant mortality is lower than it was in Mosul, lower than it was in Japan, lower than it was in Germany. So there's just a different standard for Jews in Israel when it comes to prosecuting a war. They're allowed to fight back to a truce.
Yeah, it's because anti-Semitism.
We begin with breaking news from here in Germany. Authorities say that they have arrested 3 suspected Hamas operatives. that they believe were preparing to carry out what they are calling a serious act of violence. You may remember the European Union, the U.S., and other countries have designated Hamas as a terrorist organization. For more now, I want to go to our political correspondent, Bernd Riegert. He is following this story for us. Bernd, what more can you tell us about these arrests?
Well, the police arrested 3 men here in Berlin, in the middle of the city. 2 men are German citizens with Arab background, and 1 man is from Lebanon. These 3 men had weapons with them when they were arrested.
Yep. It's always the usual suspects.
Handguns and also assault rifles, AK-47. And the federal prosecutor is alleging that they were planning or preparing an attack on Israeli or Jewish institutions in Germany, and that they are indeed members of the terrorist organization Hamas. Hamas is also responsible for the assault on the 7th October in 2023, when 1,200 people in Israel were killed by them. And the prosecution says they are part of this network. And now, of course, the police and the prosecution will also check if there is a wider network of supporters, if there are connections to Gaza or Palestine support groups. The prosecution says it was not the first time that Hamas operatives or alleged Hamas operatives were arrested in Germany.
Congratulations, you're banned. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Draws Oidrina wearing a hijab and saying I hate the West, while getting whipped by a Muslim dude.
Who the fuck is Zoidrina? What is a Zoidrina? All right, there's the photo or picture you requested. Thanks for the donation, Poopy Balls.
How old is this guy? He looks like absolute shit.
Didn't he say he's near 60?
Video. In this video, I'm gonna talk about longevity, bro. You know, but this fucking longevity shit online all over the fucking place, bro. Sorry about that. Somebody moved the fucking bench, so I can't really get the park here.
Yeah, this is Dollar Store Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, as you know, I went to the pet store and I got this raw milk, bro. Get that? See that? Raw fermented goat's milk. Amazing. Yeah, it's amazing, bro. Unfortunately, man, if fucking all of these longevity guys are full of shit. Exercise is not going to make you live longer. Listen, that 117-year-old lady, they said her telomeres were short when she died. Yeah, but that's kind of a given, right? You're going to die. It's because maybe a bus will hit you. Maybe your plane will crash and you will die.
Well, yeah. Thanks for the donation, Majin Buu.
Not a lot of Joey, but at least 17 seconds of Joey.
Oh my god. Oh wow, he's right there being sentient.
You're a darling boy.
Oh my god. Think he might be a little confused.
Love you, love you, love you, love you.
Oh, there. Think he understood that last part. That's a very good Joey. Thanks for the donation, even though. Blaha's autism donated $2. Proof Blaha is 5'5".
Do you even live silhouette of a man? Do you fight summer fact? Will you do the 4-day split? Sudden hypertrophy, hit by my technique. I'm just a man that nobody loves me. He's just a man that from a short family, tall valley, jealous of his hypertrophy.
Yeah, like, I mean, he's obviously not tall. I think at most, like, absolute most, he's 5'8". Like, that's really, really reaching. So, yeah, he's probably somewhere between 5'5" and 5'7", but, like, absolute most, tallest he could possibly be is, like, 5'8". Thanks for the donation, though, Blaha's autism.
I would kiss the Israeli flag just as much as I would piss on the Palestine flag.
Yeah, thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Draw the Charlie Cook reaction meme, eyes closed right before the shot.
I'm not doing that. Thanks for the donation, dude. Zoid, Arena is Jizzy, aka Arena, aka Random Gal. Okay, I have no idea who the fuck that, what they look like. Dodo, donate $2. Great debate. This kid now knows his shit, but the woman is dumb and drunk and should shut up.
I want to start off with a fundamental idea. Everybody in here agrees that if somebody is here illegally and they commit crimes, get them the out of here, right?
Yes.
Get them the hell out of here. I can start with the fundamental.
I don't care. I, like, actually don't give a shit. Very few women are good debaters, let's be honest, but this woman was just stupid. And drunk, why is she there for real? I don't know. I don't care. Can't be fucked with that horse shit right now. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. Do you know Face IQ? Yeah, he's a dumb fuck.
Der Mike das
Okay.
irgendwann letztes Jahr 2024 gemacht. Hat mir zwischendurch Sprachnachricht geschrieben, hey, ich habe gemacht, hat geklappt, ich bin jetzt 3 Zentimeter größer, la la la, la la la. So ist Mike größer geworden. Durch Strecken irgendwie, die Wirbelsäule konnten die einigermaßen gerade biegen. Keine Ahnung, was sie genau da gemacht haben, aber so ist es passiert.
Alright, okay. This is getting scary at this point. Apparently,
Check out these Lamdanati gains. 474 pounds shrugs for 5 reps. I reached this doing no shrugs, only rack pulls above the knee.
I would recommend not bothering holding the weight at the top when you're doing shrugs. It literally does nothing, but that's good. That's good. Thanks for the donation, Prime Mover. Dodo donated $3.
Where was the well? From the countryside.
Yeah, don't care. Thanks for the donation. Dodo, donate $2. When are we playing Silent Hill? Also links.
So basically, what you did was narrow the eligibility for certain people to get access to the ACA subsidies. What they want to do is undo the changes that Republicans made in that. But basically, wouldn't that only affect people who do have legal status, people who are refugee seekers here in the United States, asylum seekers here?
Those are two totally different issues. Now, they've created this as a new argument that they have as to why they should not keep the government open, but they're arguing a December policy debate for a September funding issue. The subsidies that you're talking about don't expire until the end of December.
No. Those are the subsidies for just everyday Americans. That's one thing that obviously has been the main premise of their argument. But you're saying they want to give free health care to people who are in the United States illegally.
That is exactly what the effect will be.
But when I looked at it, there's a little nuance because they want to undo changes that y'all made, narrowing who is eligible to get that. Those are people who are refugee seekers, asylum seekers. They're not technically people who are here illegally, just cross the border.
No, this is exactly what will happen. And Maxine Waters admitted, I think, accidentally today on the House steps, they want to give health care to everybody.
But Maxine Waters is not in charge. She's not the one. She didn't write this proposal.
She's one of the senior leaders in the House.
That Democrats
and everybody should Google it and read their counter proposal
yourself. But you see
yourself.
my point, right? You're making this argument that they want to just give health care to everyone who's here illegally. This is not for people who cross the border and don't have paperwork. These are people who have temporary protected status, right?
No, absolutely what will happen if that counter proposal was enacted is illegal aliens would.
This is everything I ate at an afternoon high tea as a vegan. First, we started off with the chocolate mint truffle tea with raw sugar. It was the perfect start. Then we were served the vegan afternoon high tea set. I started with the minted green pea and zucchini tartlet. It had the most amazing mix of flavors with an amazing crust. Then I tried the impossible meat pot pie. While I liked the impossible meat filling, the crust could have been more crispy and flaky. The silky tofu and black truffle sandwich looked simple, but it was quite addictive. The pickled cherry vine tomato was sweet and juicy. Then we had the fruit sorbets to cleanse our palates. I rarely find vegan scones on the menu, so this was the perfect addition. It came with 3 condiments, homemade almond cream, mango chutney, orange marmalade. After which we had the citrus mango cake. The eggless sponge was fluffy, so I really liked this one. The lavender panna cotta looked so pretty and kind of went well with the coconut and soy milk base for the jelly. The hazelnut apple tart was definitely one of our favorites, maybe excluding the jelly. And the espresso chocolate cup was also on par. The cream was light, refreshing, and the coffee caviar felt like little pearls of espresso. Deliciousness. Lastly, we had the inner
It's going to be a long video, but I have a lot to say. So, from imprisoned, being targeted and destroyed, the global Sumatra failed to send an activist at the age of.
It's a new warning out of New York City, tied to the dangerous stunt known as subway surfing. This weekend, officials say 2 girls were found dead after playing the game, which involves riding atop a moving subway car.
This is really tragic.
While subway surfing has been a problem for decades, some argue social media is helping to fuel the latest surge of deadly stunts. New York City officials say in the first 6 months of this year, more than 1,800 subway surfing videos have been taken down.
It's hard to see a child get killed that way.
And the problem goes well beyond New York City, including this footage showing people riding an upside-down tabletop tied to a moving vehicle. Just weeks ago, in a similar stunt, a Pennsylvania teen was charged with involuntary manslaughter after allegedly killing his 17-year-old friend who'd been sitting atop the upside-down table. Prosecutors are calling it a dangerous TikTok challenge. In a statement to NBC News, TikTok says any content that promotes dangerous behavior, which may lead to serious injury, is a violation of our community guidelines and will be removed. When NBC News searched for subway surfing on TikTok, the platform replied with this message, urging users to learn how to recognize harmful challenges.
They're doing it for, maybe a little bit of the prestige, but what's it all for if, it's over in a moment?
Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Very important video here. Daddy Peterson is very sick. Also, I would eat Michaela's butthole and jizz in her pussy. LLL 777
Hey,
gay
guys.
smiley face.
Guys, I have an update on my dad. I'm actually just going to read this. It's on my teleprompter because this is too hard to explain off the cuff, so I wrote it out. This summer has been exceedingly difficult. Dad was in an ICU suffering from pneumonia and sepsis after dealing with a host of neurological issues this summer that we believe stem from CIRS, which is chronic inflammatory response syndrome due to decades of mold exposure.
Yeah, sure.
We don't have a better explanation for his neurological symptoms at the moment other than spiritual attacks.
Let's see. He eats one of the most stupid, retarded diets imaginable where he's not getting enough vitamin C. He's a whiny, retarded crybaby who overstresses about everything. He's a bitch-made faggot who doesn't even lift. These could all explain why he'd get pneumonia and have health issues.
He's been suffering for the last number of years with unexplainable neuropathy and weakness, amongst other symptoms, but they worsened this summer after he cleaned out his parents' basement.
Yeah, neuropathy and weakness. So that's a sign that he's deficient in certain things. So that can actually be a sign of vitamin C deficiency. He might even be deficient in some B vitamins, even though he's supposedly on the carnivore diet. He might not be absorbing things well. Like, who the fuck knows?
After his dad, my grandpa, passed away. We weren't able to communicate with Dad really all of September. During the end of the pneumonia, he was diagnosed with critical illness polyneuropathy, which we're hoping is critical illness myopathy, which is bad enough. That's been heartbreaking and brutal on top of everything else. But after almost a month in the ICU, he's been moved out to a less urgent floor. Praise God for that. We're still in the midst of this, but now we're seeing improvements daily. The timeline for his full recovery is hard to tell at the moment, and I'll update everyone when we have more information. My family's asking for prayers. Like I said, this summer's been exceedingly difficult and terrifying. Dad's condition is complicated by the fact he can't take most medications without suffering from severe paradoxical reactions, which limits treatment options. Like I mentioned, I believe there's a spiritual element at play here.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have felt it in the last few weeks and months. It's been hitting my dad and my family hard this summer. In August, the day Dad was brought to a hospital.
Yeah, ghosts. Oh no, we're getting attacked by ghosts. And they're bad ghosts. They're bad ghosts that are trying to do a not so good. Please help us against the not so good ghosts. What a fucking idiot. Your fucking family is a bunch of clowns. Oh my god. Yeah, please. Don't take the medicine. Yeah, convince him that the medicine is bad. All the feelings that he has, that's from the medicine. The medicine's killing you, Dad. The medicine's giving you a paradoxical reaction. Fuck these people. Yeah, don't get medicated. Believe in ghosts. Fucking just have it all end that way.
By ambulance. My newborn Audrey was also brought to a hospital by ambulance within hours of each other. It was unbelievable. This was
oh my God.
The second time this summer we had brought Audrey to the hospital after she almost died from near heart failure at 6 weeks old. That is exceedingly rare, and they couldn't find a cause for. She was diagnosed with idiopathic pulmonary hypertension, which seems to have resolved, praise God. But it's not something that happens. You know, this was late July after Dad and I recorded some episodes of the call-in show together. everything went just really downhill fast after that. Every single day this summer and now fall has been like watching a movie. Our family's relying heavily on the Lord through this and seeing miracles around us. We are. And I'm also aware that God uses everything for good. So eventually we'll see why this is happening or what comes of it. But Mom and I in particular really wanted to reach out and ask for prayers to help everyone get through this, especially for my dad and for my mom, but also for the nurses and doctors taking care of him, my brother, and family and friends who have come.
Let's see. There's multiple large-scale wars. There's people that are getting kidnapped and tortured in like Russia, in Syria, in fucking Gaza. Hey everybody, my dad doesn't feel good. Can you ask the all-powerful God to help my dad? Forget about the wars that are going on now. Forget about the, millions of people that are dying and these conflicts that have it way worse than him. My dad's special, and forget about everyone else who's suffering and dying. Ask God to just help my dad. These people are the most selfish, just self-entitled fucking jackasses on the planet. My God, that's insane.
Come to support us. I miss my dad. My brother misses his dad. My mom misses her best friend and husband.
When... Uh-oh, somebody call the ambulance. Oh, I guess that carnivore diet doesn't make you immune from being a bitch. Oh, maybe she's lacking nutrients, guys. Maybe she's not getting enough, I don't know, vitamin C or whatever the fuck you get in broccoli to not be a fucking crybaby.
Oh, man. I thought I wasn't going to cry during this.
Oh, you know what? There's probably another plastic surgery you can get for that. I'm sure the plastic surgeon can remove your tear ducts so that when you cry, you don't look so ugly. You know how you got all that plastic surgery on your face because you're ugly? Well, when you cry, you're really, really ugly. So maybe go to the plastic surgeon again, get your tear ducts removed, so that when you cry, you won't look so ugly, you fucking clown. Yeah, imagine you can just get another plastic surgery. Now, then when you cry in the future, you won't have to redo your fucking makeup. You know that clown makeup you put on your fucking face? Hey guys, I follow the carnivore diet. It makes my skin so healthy and vibrant. That's why I need to get like 10 different plastic surgeries and put all this fucking makeup and horse shit on my fucking face so you can't see what I actually look like.
Well, he's hopefully recovering. And like I said, I'll keep people updated. He has a team of people, including myself, continuing his mission, including Peterson Academy, and will be releasing his We Who Wrestle with God tour to everyone on YouTube, which he's wanted to do for a long time. And given we think there's a spiritual element at play here, we believe the right way to fight back is to keep going and push harder, if anything. Life isn't necessarily supposed to get easier when you're doing the right thing, and I can see God's hand throughout this, but it's a lot to handle. My family agreed or wanted to delay updating everybody because a lot has happened over the last few months, and we were hoping he would recover faster and we would see bigger improvements sooner and have better news. And it was really a near-death experience for a long time, so we've been just dealing with this one day.
Well, there you go. The carnivore diet strikes again. Ugh. Yeah, I love how a few years ago she's talking about how the carnivore diet cured all of his illnesses, but then suddenly, ghosts are attacking us. Ah! Right, okay. I guess the carnivore diet can't protect you against ghosts. The only way to scare off the ghosts is with broccoli. So, I don't know, man. Maybe you should give him a salad or something. He'd probably feel better.
Are you both cold and tired?
Yeah, sort of. It's a little warmer now, but I am tired. Thanks for the donation, James. Blackberry donated $2.
So, Michelle from China,
That's great. Wonderful.
When are these dumb internet challenges going to end?
Hopefully when they're all dead. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Why did you light up and you physically awoken a bit and perked up and became focused as soon as you saw someone donated saying Jordan Peterson's health is in bad shape? Do you wish bad things on people? That makes you perk up? That's crazy.
That's great. Thanks for the donation. Dodo, donate $2. Flashback.
Is it okay to be gay?
I'm not watching that again. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Michaela got the face and demeanor of someone who is eternally reliving a brutal rape that loops in her head over and over and over again. Even when she tries to fake cry, it's just expressionless because her vitality and joy have been drained.
Sure, whatever. Thanks for the donation.
If she had Botox and plastic surgery and wears makeup. She's...
Mike did get taller. In fact, he had a spine surgery. Guys, what the hell? I mean, I heard about guys doing this kind of stuff. There is a famous YouTuber in Serbia over here who disappeared for a couple of months, made a video how he was hit by a car, and after that, we all found out that he actually did a surgery. They did something to his legs, to his shins. Apparently, they broke the shins and they actually stretched him out.
This dumb fuck doesn't know what the height enlargement surgery is.
And it's a complicated surgery. It's very high risk. It's nasty, but this guy did it and he was actually 2 inches taller in the end. But Mike didn't do that. Apparently he had some sort of a spinal injury, a spinal fusion or spondylosis, if that's how you...
If anything, a spinal fusion would make you slightly shorter.
Say it in English, but basically he had a surgery, and when you do that, you can actually get taller. So,
nope. If anything, it makes you shorter.
I'm not saying he did this only to get taller, but he had a problem with his spine.
This is complete and utter horseshit. If anything, that surgery, if he had it, it would make you shorter.
Did a surgery, and after that, he did get taller. So that is the story. That's what his mentor is saying on this YouTube channel right here. So I actually asked ChatGPT, is this possible? And this was the answer. After a spinal fusion, a patient can become slightly taller, but it's not actually bone growth. Small fusions, 1 to 2 levels up to 0.5 to 1 centimeter taller, major deformity corrections like scoliosis.
I have a friend who had a spinal fusion because he had a disc that was basically destroyed and it wouldn't heal on its own. He got slightly shorter from it. I don't know where the fuck ChatGPT is getting this horse shit. Because basically all you're fucking doing is fusing 2 vertebrae in your fucking spine. And what often happens is that shit in between the joint gets removed and you're just fusing the 2 fucking bones together. So oftentimes you get shorter.
Or kyphosis, 2 to 5 centimeters. Sometimes one that I found, that I saw so far. So this guy said,
we've seen the fucking video. He got height, like it was... Why is he making this? He got heighted in, and the guy checking his height deliberately increased his height. He was not measured properly. It's on fucking video.
Remember how Mike's PhD thesis was...
Son of a bitch.
Lol, nigga slipped back into his comatose state as soon as that Michaela Peterson video ended. Just end the stream, retard. This is boring. Nobody wants to watch your boring shitty stream.
Don't care.
You sound and look like a retard and you're scamming donors.
That's great. Don't care.
Mike Israetel admits that the first draft that was examined by Solomon that all of us had talked about was actually the final draft after all. Do you not remember all those comments? Do you remember them? What do you think about that now? People were threatening lawsuits.
Congratulations, you're banned. I don't need to be bombarded by stupid, retarded, childish horseshit constantly, so see you later.
Against Solomon, suggesting even I could have a suit against me. For what? Saying the truth? This is what's wrong with the world.
Soda still need till our sound on.
Hey, how is it going?
Push-ups aren't just...
Why would I watch this fucking slop? Did you just go out of your way to find some, like, AI fucking generated bullshit slop video for me to fucking react to?
Body weight off the ground. It connects you to your own strength.
Yeah, you literally found an AI fucking generated video for me to fucking react to about fucking push-ups. What are you, some kind of fucking asshole? Fuck you. Yeah, like, I'm gonna waste my time with that fucking garbage, dipshit. These are just all fake. Everything is just fake in AI. That's a Hyrax's butt. Fucking AI video about push-ups. Like, go fuck yourself, you fucking cocksucker.
Why do you gotta bust in and bother the little man? Huh? You look like Godzilla taking over a city. What does he have in there that you don't? Nothing, besides dirt.
He wants the dirt. Man, that's a big chunky groundhog. Well, that's a deer. Thanks for the donation, Sodas.
Right now, you speak out, you have an opinion, and those who refuse to believe it or accept it, they want to take you down. The document had mislabeled time.
Yeah, the...
Play new Silent Hill soon for Go Kill Yourself.
Yeah, that game looks like it sucks. Thanks for the donation, retard. Yeah, he made the fucking edits literally on October 10th. Or I mean October 3rd. Like a day or two after Solomon's video.
Timestamps. One was saying it was in March, and the other one was saying it was in August, saying that there were saying that that was the first draft, but that it somehow ended up in the university, and that was the document that other people had read. Well, he's saying, hey, after checking it out, and actually looking at it, about 5 days later, I come to realize that that was the first document, that it wasn't the final draft. I mean, is that even possible? Is it possible that Mike didn't know if it was the first draft or the final draft? I mean, it was over 12 years ago. Maybe he completely forgot what he wrote about. He didn't remember any of it. Or is he pulling a fast one over all of us? Is he admitting to this only to later say, I gotcha, it wasn't the first draft. It was in fact the final. Time will tell, and I'm not sure. Remember, I'm just reporting the news. I'm not trying to make shit up. I'm not trying to ruin someone's career. I don't think people are going to care. Perhaps he will get even more followers. I mean, it would kind of be like admitting you're a fake natty as a prank and then telling everyone you're natural after all.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Greg.
Upon review, the dissertation Solomon examined was indeed the correct document. Now, don't you think that when Milo Wolf made that super long video defending Mike, interviewing Mike, that he would have known at the time if it was in fact the first document or the final draft? What does Milo think now? Is Milo mad at his friend? Will Milo be posting a video saying guys like Greg, Johnny,
Nutmuffin $20, sorry mate, sent the wrong link. Yeah, sure he did.
Lyle, and Solomon, that they were all perfectly within the right to make those exact videos. Most of the errors were clerical. A misplaced negative sign on a few occasions, and a table pasting misalignment repeated across 3 tables. There were a lot more than just a few of those mistakes. I mean, it would have better to say the hundreds of mistakes were just clerical. And so, how is it possible that hundreds of errors were made that were clerical? Even a few, obviously, those can slip by. Once in a while here or there. But to think that a thesis passed in that format with that many errors, how is that possible? I personally don't understand. Did the person correcting or reviewing it, looking over it, actually read it? Would they not have seen all those errors? Remember in a previous video I said, don't they sit there with a red pen and look through it and start circling? And once they get to 50 errors...
I've had a few teachers tell me about this. When they were going through like uni, they found out that their professors weren't grading their papers. They were literally just looking at the first page and then giving some like random grade based on what they read from the first page. So I think it's pretty fucking common for professors not to actually grade papers. Especially if you're going to a piece of shit, historically black college with an 87% acceptance rate. Nobody fucking cares.
Errors say, you know what? You have to redo it. It's not good enough. These are now fixed and will appear in the official archive. And so, how can you officially change a paper 12 years after it was due? I mean, there's sometimes in university that perhaps I didn't get 100% on the test or exam. Can I go back to Acadia University and say, I want you to change my grade. I have thought about it. I've studied. I now speak better French. And so I want a higher grade on my French report card. It's been too long. For full transparency, that is what I want. I want an entire video from Mike on Mike's channel explaining exactly what happened and why we're at this point. Why didn't Mike admit, yeah, that's the final draft? Milo says, hey, you know what? 200 mistakes. What do you think, Mike? Yep. Clerical error. Let's move on. People wouldn't have cared. They only care because of the lying and the cover-up. And so why is there no full transparency? This is not full transparency. This is trying to silence the people who've made videos speaking out and saying exactly what they should have said. The original, the corrected copy, and the data tables are linked in Milo Wolf's video description. It's a trip taking that much criticism at once, but I've dished out plenty myself, fair play. And so perhaps after seeing more videos coming out saying, well, how was your final draft that you wrote in August? Why was it then
Jirian Rydeniger.
relabeled in March, 5 months prior? Does that make sense? Or the corrected timestamp saying this was changed, insert October 3rd, Mean Girls meme.
On October 3rd, he asked me what day it was. It's October 3rd.
Or that a media team was the ones that had his paper.
Yeah. All signs point to him trying to cover shit up.
Then it wasn't even from Mike himself, that they had posted it. And with marks showing it had been all.
Wow. Really? Dude. What the fuck?
Asked me what day it was. It's October 3rd.
Or that a media team was the
My
ones
bad, I
that...
was not trying to waste your time. That was retarded. Last link wasn't mine.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks for the donation, dude. So he hired other people to change this fucking dissertation paper for him. Oh my god, what is going on?
It had his paper, then it wasn't even from Mike himself, that they had posted it. And with marks showing it had been altered. So unless Mike later comes back with this is a joke, that this isn't real, this is not addressing it. This is just saying, shut up, stop criticizing me, and let's move on. Addressing it with full transparency is describing exactly what occurred. Telling us exactly how Milo Wolf got that final document, which is different from the one that you are saying that you wrote. How did Milo get a final document that had fewer mistakes than this? You first stated that there was a different final version of your...
Again, it doesn't make any sense. He's saying he's saying the rough draft that he didn't submit had more corrections and fewer mistakes than the finalized copy that he sent into the university. So he over time added errors. Like, this is clearly a joke. Like, he's so full of shit, it's unreal.
Your PhD thesis. How believable is it that for multiple days you couldn't say for certain which document was your PhD and which wasn't? Also, the spelling mistakes were just one bullet point in Solomon's video. The more pressing issue is, and always has been, the poor methodology and the weak to non-existent creation of knowledge accomplished.
Hey, Avi made it onto fucking Greg's video. That's hilarious. I don't understand this response, and it adds more questions than it answers. How was the dissertation Solomon examined the correct document if you were showing a later version? The answer is obvious. He's fucking lying. STX $20, JP neuropathy and weakness looks much more like CVD, causing diminished blood flow and damaging nerves than vitamin C deficiency. Vitamin C deficiency is easily detected in your gums, legs, ulcers, wounds, blood flows, key in neuropathy. B vitamin second. Well, Jordan Peterson does have gum disease, so I guess we'll find out soon enough once he fucking dies of a heart attack or stroke. I guess we can say we told you so. But thanks for the donation, STX.
Published by the paper. I loved you for years like the father I never had, but I find this all pretty unconvincing and very unprofessional from your side. He didn't even mention the lying, we're going to call it lying, of what other people had stated. Remember, an author had stated there were 5 different things that could affect your voting performance. Israel said they had stated there were 3. He omitted 2. I talked about this in my video. He was busy flirting with the huzz and didn't have the time to add the other 2. And so how can you quote someone else as saying, this is what they said, but not say what they said? You can't just invent what other famous authors are saying. I don't understand this response, and it adds more questions than answers. How was the dissertation Solomon exam the correct document if you were showing a later version where such errors were corrected? Yeah, explain that. Full transparency would be, I lied.
Yeah.
I thought I could get away with it, but I was caught in 4K. And so now I admit that was the original document. And so what I did, or what Milo did, or what my team did, or a media team did, was to rewrite the paper to make it look better because we thought we could get away with it. But after reading the comments and after thinking about this, after meditating, I've decided I don't want to live my life as a lie. I want to come clean. That would solve
Imagine
it.
Mike's thesis being so ass and this being widely discussed in fitness community causes Trump admin to crack down on professors at historically black colleges, and Mike personally increases the black incarceration rate by 5% on accident.
I don't think it'll ever get that serious. Thanks for the donation, though, retard.
Isn't that what everyone would want? Isn't that what we want? At the end of the day, who really cares about something from so long ago? Yeah. See, that was my point all along, that no one would actually hold it against him in the long run. Short term, sure, people are going to get views. It's drama. People like to talk about things. But long term, I don't think there's going to be even 10,000 followers that are going to leave Mike's channel. I don't think the follower count is going down just because he lied, that he admits to lying. I think you just move on. You say, yeah, you know what? This is a pretty shitty paper, but it still passed. There you go. That's the requirements for a PhD. It's probably a lot lower than you were thinking, but yet here I am with my PhD after all. And trust me, they're not going to revoke my PhD after passing it. They don't care. There are 2 types of people. One type of person wants to learn new information. They want to hear. They're open to it. The other type of person wants to defend what they already know. And so many people are fans of Mike, and they're...
I saw your video on how you cure depression, which led me to seeing the Twilight Zone a nice place to visit. I feel like that episode is cope though. Do you actually think that you would be depressed if everything in life went your way? Seems like cope.
That's a very nice, stupid question. You clearly don't understand that episode. There's a difference between everything going your way and the circumstances in that Twilight Zone episode. Thanks for the donation, stupid.
They're one kind of person. They just want to hear Mike tell them what they already believe, whatever that is. And so if Mike says what they're thinking, go for it. But if someone comes along and says the opposite, no, you're a bad person. And so if I say, you don't need to bulk with such a surplus of calories to put on muscle, many people write, you're wrong. No way, it's not true. They don't want to hear new information. They don't want to hear that you can maintain a lean and healthy weight, that you don't have to get fat in the off season, you don't have to get sloppy, and that you can stay lean year round and still put on muscle. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear, yep, bulking time. It's my winter arc. Time to get it at a surplus. Eat a bunch of food. They don't want to hear that Turk Builder Max actually works. It's a Juga Turkish.
Yeah, it actually does jack shit. You know, I'm a little annoyed. I fucking missed it. Greg's editor fucking put in the video that I don't make enough money to afford turkesterone. His fucking Turk Builder only costs $50 a month. And I'm paying $450 a month in growth hormone. Like what a fucking dumbass. But yeah, Turk Builder doesn't do shit. Again, this is roughly $50 a month. You can spend that much money on testosterone, and most people would quadruple their testosterone on that equivalent kind of price. Spending about $50 a month on test. So what do you think's going to build you more muscle? Spending $50 a month on Turk, or spending $50 a month on testosterone and quadrupling your testosterone score? So, fucking retarded. STX donated $2. I'm not an evil person, but this anti-science arrogant clowns get on my nerves too much. Can't wait to see them drop of CVD like flies in like 10 years. Specifically the influencers. Hopefully they won't hide it somehow, and following clowns will suffer same. Yeah, well, you know, we'll see. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Isn't it standard practice that PhD theses are presented to a panel of professors who are supposed to ask you hard critical questions about it, and then they decide if you pass based on that? They didn't ask Mike if he published the wrong paper, lol.
Well, yeah, that's another whole issue with his story, because his paper was uploaded before it ever, and accepted before it ever got reviewed. So, again, this is like a garbage bullshit school that he went to. It wouldn't surprise me if he was just... He ended up being buddies with a teacher there or something, and then the guy told him, like, yeah, we'll just pass you no matter what. You're cool, you know, I'll just pass you. Wouldn't surprise me, so... Yeah, clearly nobody looked at it, obviously. They just passed him. Thanks for the donation, though, retard.
Stanica from Uzbekistan, they want to assume that it's the copycat plant from China and that it does nothing. Because I'm going to find any reason to doubt you. Didn't somebody do a study where they used one of your pills? And didn't that prove it didn't work? No. They used one of those pills, they weren't told to work out, and they used an in-body scam testing device to prove nothing. They could have used Anavar and it would have still proved nothing. And so you'll grasp it.
Yeah, the difference is Anavar is a fucking drug that's FDA regulated. It went through a whole scientific development process, and there were randomized fucking controlled trials on Anavar. We know for a fact it fucking works, you idiot. You can literally look up online, Anavar, randomized controlled trial, you fucking moron. Guess what? There aren't any fucking randomized trials on your stupid, dumb, fuck, horseshit, fuck supplement, you idiot. So he's comparing his stupid turkesterone supplement to a fucking FDA-approved drug that's gone through fucking human trials. Fucking idiot.
At straws because you're the type of person that does not want to hear new information. You don't want to learn anything new. Whatever you already believe, that is true. What does Jeff Nippert think of all this? I mean, one of his good buddies, Mike, just admitted that he's in fact a liar. And so, is Jeff going to be mad? Is he going to be upset? Well, let's see. Happy birthday, Jeff Nippert. It's his birthday today. Gotta be super annoying to have stuff from over a decade ago dragged up and dogpiled. Yeah, I can see that. That's a fair assessment. I think Jeff is accurate. Like, who wants their past to be brought up again? I mean, for example, when Coach Greg was arrested for literally selling steroids, you all know that. I've admitted this about a dozen times. Every couple months, somebody brings it up. Almost the same time frame as this happened to Mike. And so when people continue to bring things up, you have to either own it or try to block it to make it go away. And so Mike tried to block it and make it go away. And so is it possible that Jeff is projecting? Why is he coming so hard to defend Mike on something Mike did in his past? And so is it possible that Jeff also has a dirty little secret that he doesn't want anyone to share? Given the public interest, though.
Mike Donatillers, couldn't you use the same logic to be racist against black people? I don't think I give two fucking shits about what these dumb fucking hideous women think.
Bull thing is 1 in 3 women.
Yeah, I don't fucking care, dude. Thanks for the donation, Mike.
It's probably worth clarifying how a copy with more errors, Solomon's version, when a copy with fewer errors, Milo's version, also existed. Did Mike not just admit that Solomon had the final draft? That was the final version? And that Milo's copy was a copy that was altered perhaps from that media team. And so, Jeff, how can you be critical of Solomon when he did absolutely nothing wrong? Why did it take 5 or 6 days in order for Mike to come out and admit the truth? But I think what they don't realize is that Mike right now, I mean, this week alone, has been lying to you. But you're saying it's from 12 years ago. The lie wasn't from 12 years ago, but the problem is he lied to you right now.
I guess technically I submitted the wrong draft to the graduate school.
Oopsie.
I don't experience the emotion of pride much.
And he's downplaying it by saying it was a few graphical errors. I believe that most of the people didn't watch the Solomon video. They didn't watch my videos. And they're commenting saying, well, it's 12 years ago, a few graphical errors. It was more than that, and he's lying now. Milo Wolf was saying, Solomon needs to take his video down. Bad person. He's going to get sued. Do you not remember all those comments? Do you remember them? What do you think about that now? People were threatening lawsuits against Solomon, suggesting even I could have a suit against me. For what? Saying the truth? This is what's wrong with the world right now. You speak out, you have an opinion, and those who refuse to believe it or accept it, they want to take you down. For coaching, click the link in the description. Remember, I can coach you to lose weight. I won't get you to...
Yeah, Mike's just lying. Like, it's obvious. He's just completely and utterly full of shit. His whole fucking story makes zero fucking sense, and I called it. I knew, like, oh, yeah, he's probably gonna come up with some stupid excuse, like, oh, that was just a rough draft, and I called it. That's the excuse he went with, and it makes no fucking sense.
Was exposed as a complete disaster, with athletes who were negative years old and standard deviations that implied people weighed less than chihuahuas? Well, it gets so much better, because Mike's team just tried to do damage control and somehow made everything 10 times more suspicious. I'm talking potential document tampering, I'm talking cover-ups, I'm talking about the kind of stupid mistakes you make when you're panicking and not thinking things through. This is legitimately the funniest timeline. So Mike's buddy Milo Wolf came out defending him by releasing what he claims is the real version of the thesis, the clean, proper one that doesn't have all those embarrassing errors. And at first glance, you might think, oh, maybe Solomon just got a draft version by mistake. But then people actually looked at this corrected version that Milo released, and holy shit, the red flags are everywhere. We're not talking minor inconsistencies. We're talking smoking gun, caught in 4K. How did you think this would work? Level evidence that something incredibly shady just happened. Let me break down why this cover-up attempt is somehow more embarrassing than the original thesis. First red flag. When you look at the document properties of this corrected version that Milo released, the owner isn't Mike Eisretel, it's not East Tennessee State University, it's not even Milo Wolf. The owner is listed as pipix.contenido@gmail.com, which turns out to be a digital marketing agency, specifically a guy named Brian Ivan Cromer Jimenez from Argentina who does social media content creation. Now I have a very simple question. Why the fuck would Mike's PhD thesis from 2013 be owned and edited by his current marketing team? If this was really just Mike uploading the original final version he submitted to the university.
Yeah, it's almost as if it's obvious that he is lying about all this.
The document owner would be Mike, or it would be the university. It wouldn't be his marketing guy from Argentina who wasn't even involved in this thesis over a decade ago. The only reason a marketing agency would be the owner of this document is if they created or edited it recently. That's how document ownership.
You should learn how to use a slide rule. It trains your brain. I am now using a Queffel and Esadecilon slide rule while I work problems from a 1962 vector mechanics textbook. Dancer emoji, smiley face emoji, steam locomotive emoji, musical notes emoji, cool face emoji.
I'll bother to learn how to use one when I need to know how to use one. Thanks for the donation though, James.
Destiny gets dub in court today. Pixie's preliminary injunction was denied and the judge's ruling pretty clearly foreshadows how the rest of the case is gonna go lol.
Yep. To the point of compensatory relief, plaintiff herself has acknowledged on social media that a primary aim of this lawsuit is inherently financial. Don't know what you're specifically referring to. Multi-millionaire, want to see him lose as much money. As the fourth item of plaintiff's request, preliminary injunction addressed alleged spoliation of relevant evidence. Plaintiff's counsel then proceeded to explain the ongoing issue is that we keep receiving evidence of destruction of evidence. We're trying to compile enough evidence to file a motion of for spoliation. Oh my god. It is now October of 2025 and there is no such motion on the docket, despite that being the then existing ongoing harm plaintiff was ostensibly seeking to stop. But putting that aside for a moment, from the allegations in plaintiff's timeline, even if we look at only the closest incident to the present, the video being uploaded to Kiwi Farms, plaintiff waited roughly 5 months to file their motion for preliminary injunction, provided no convincing justification for the delay. Fucking retarded, dude. Like, it's such a joke that, like, some dumb bitch like this can make you waste so much time and money. Well, thanks for the donation, retard. Sneed donated $2.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, we already watched that. Thanks for the donation, Sneed.
Works. You're the owner if you generated the file or made substantial edits to it. So either Mike's marketing team went back in time to 2013 to help him write his thesis, or they just edited it in 2025 to clean up all the embarrassing shit Solomon exposed. Which one seems more likely? Second red flag, and this one's even more damning. The PDF Milo released isn't one continuous document. It's two completely different files stitched together. Pages 1 to 200 are an export from Microsoft Word. You can copy and paste text from these pages. They're a standard Word to PDF conversion. Pages 201 to 223, which conveniently contain all the university stamps and official signatures, are optical scans. You can't copy and paste from them because they're literally just images of pages. Why would you need to combine two separate documents like this? If you're just uploading the thesis you submitted in 2013, it would all be one file. You wouldn't have the main body as an editable Word export, and then the signature pages as scanned images tacked on the end. Unless you edited the main body of the thesis to fix all the errors, but you couldn't edit the signature pages because those are official university documents. So you just scanned those and stuck them on the end, hoping nobody would notice you combined two different files.
Fucking idiot.
This is literally how you would structure a document if you were trying to fake it. Edit the content, but keep the official stamps separate so they still look legitimate. It's textbook document forgery technique. And they just did it in public, where everyone can check the file properties. But here's where it gets absolutely hilarious. The smoking gun that proves something is deeply wrong. The corrected version Milo released is dated March 2013. The version Solomon reviewed, the one with all the errors, is dated August 2013. Read that again. The cleaner, more polished version is supposedly from March. The fucked up version with impossible statistics is from August. That means, according to their timeline,
he probably did an oopsie with the date, and he faked the date earlier than he should have. This is so dumb, dude. Just so retarded. Like, he's obviously full of shit and lying. It's just so obvious.
Mike submitted a relatively clean thesis in March, and then 5 months later submitted a worse version with more errors for his actual defense in August. That makes no sense.
Are you both tired and cold? What is the dissertation story?
Not cold right now. Basically, Mike he went to a shitty school. His PhD dissertation is garbage, and he tried to rewrite it and make up an excuse for why, you know, the dissertation looks like garbage. And he said the version people had access to was a rough draft, but it was the final version, and he just lied about it. Thanks for the donation, James.
Normally what happens is you submit a draft, get feedback, and your final version is better than your drafts. You don't submit a decent thesis in March and then somehow make it worse by August. That's not how writing works. That's not how anything works. The only explanation that makes sense is that the March 2013 date is fake. They edited the thesis recently to fix the errors, but they backdated it before the August version to make it look like, oh, this was always the real version. Solomon just somehow got an old draft. But they fucked up by making the draft dated after the supposedly final version.
Funny how crack douchebagger can make 10 vids on low-hanging fruit Mike Israel's oopsie, including his reaction video to Mike's oopsie on top of oopsie reaction video to crack. But after your reaction to Crax's terrible vid he remains radio silent.
Well, yeah, what do you expect? Thanks for the donation, Greg is dishonest. Like, no shit. That's every single time I made a video about Greg, that's happened, because he knows I'm smarter than him. Thanks for the donation, though, dude.
Version. They created a time paradox trying to cover their ass. And here's the cherry on top. Right after Solomon's video dropped, Mike restricted access to the original version on ProQuest and the university website. He used his author rights to block public access to the thesis he submitted. Why would you do that if you have nothing to hide? If the version Solomon reviewed was just some old draft...
There we go. It gets even dumber.
And you have a clean final version, why not leave both up and let people compare them? Instead, Mike made sure nobody can access the original anymore. The version with all the errors is now hidden. The only version publicly available is this suspiciously edited one from his marketing team. That's not the behavior of someone who's confident in their work. That's the behavior of someone desperately trying to memory hole evidence. It's like if you got caught stealing and your response was to delete all the security camera footage, yeah, that totally makes you look innocent. Great strategy. The best part is watching Mike's defenders try to explain this away in the Reddit threads. They're coming up with increasingly desperate theories. Maybe the marketing agency just hosted the file for them. Cool, except you're only the document owner if you created or edited it, not just if you uploaded somebody else's PDF. Maybe Mike takes a long time to fix all those errors. Brother, spell check exists. Microsoft Word in 2010 could catch most of these typos. They're acting like fixing mid-thing pull to mid-thigh pull requires a PhD in editing. Maybe Mike accidentally dated them wrong? Yeah, he accidentally dated the clean version earlier and the messy version later. Just a whoopsie with the timestamps that happens to make it look like he's lying. Very convenient accident. The mental gymnastics are Olympic level. These people have invested so much money and ego into following Mike that they'll believe literally anything rather than accept that maybe their science-based guru has been lying to them. Let's be clear about what probably happened here. Solomon exposed Mike's thesis as a disaster. Mike panicked. His team said, we need to do damage control, so they took the original thesis, ran it through spell check, fixed the obvious errors, maybe cleaned up some of the data tables, and released it as the real version, while claiming Solomon somehow got an old draft. But they're not professional document forgers. They're fitness influencers and marketing people, so they made stupid mistakes that anyone with basic digital literacy can spot. They didn't think about document metadata showing who edited it. They didn't think about how combining two different file types would look suspicious. They didn't think about the date discrepancy creating an impossible timeline. They just panicked and tried to fix it, and in doing so, they basically confirmed everything Solomon said was true. Because if the thesis was fine, they wouldn't need to edit it and release a corrected version. What's fascinating about this whole situation is watching Mike's fan base refuse to process what's happening. The evidence is right there. The document properties, the date paradox, the suspicious timing of blocking access to the original. But their fans have built their entire fitness philosophy around Mike being right. They bought his apps, his coaching, his supplements. They've spent years defending him online. Admitting he's a fraud means admitting they got duped. So instead, they attack anyone pointing out the obvious problems. You're just a hater. You don't have a PhD, so you can't criticize. Solomon is mean, and Mike makes funny gay jokes, so Mike must be right. It's the sunk cost fallacy in real time. They've invested so much money and ego into following Mike that they'll believe literally anything rather than accept that maybe a mistake. Doc, thank you to what.
Jeez. Oh. God damn it. Oh. Fuck.
Would be so funny if people looked at the newer edited version of Mike's dissertation and found out it is full of plagiarism, ha ha ha. Sverige seems to have ran out of ideas. What is the dissertation subject?
No one cares. Thanks for the donation, James. If you want to look it up, but nobody fucking cares. 4 donated $3, yes, whatever.
Yo, what's up?
Who cares? I don't know why you'd send me that. Who gives two fucking shits?
Video, start to finish, release everything, date here, date. Why didn't he just make her anti-Mike, just being neutral and having her address the situation? Hi, it's Dr. Mike here, and this is exactly what happened in 2013. Start to finish. If he was innocent, I believe it would be immensely simple for him to prove it. But if he's guilty, you kind of got to go through the back alleys. You got to sneak yourself around until they forget.
The PDF Milo released isn't one continuous document. Pages 1 to 200 are an export from Microsoft Word. You can copy and paste text from these pages.
Why are two things added in the end? The paper and the university information, the documents. Is it possible? I'm just asking you that you write the paper over here, perhaps 10 years after the fact, and then you add some university documents to it, and you say, here's the paper. What's to stop someone from doing that? And so how do we know that this isn't true?
Pages 201 to 223, which conveniently contain all the university stamps and official signatures, are optical scans.
Like, do you all understand that? I am horrendous at technology, and so I admit this is not my forte, but I understand that there would be one file. Like, if your original thesis in 2013, if it was done, it was like a book, a paper, it's done, one file, you bring the file over here. How is it one file over here and another file over there when it's supposed to be a singular composition from 2013?
This is literally how you would structure a document if you were trying to fake it. Edit the content, but keep the official stamps separate so they still look legitimate.
And so he's saying, look, they just did it in public. There's no way that they can come back on this. They did it publicly. You can see it. They've got it documented. They can forge. And that seems like a very plausible.
They're probably just gonna keep lying. Their audience is just a bunch of dumb fucking retards. Like, literally, Mike Isertel has, like, the same audience as, like, fucking worthless trash idiots like Jesse James West. He doesn't upload any, science-based lifting content. It's just fucking clickbait trash. So what the fuck do the dumb 12-year-old kids who watch his channel fucking care if the guy lied about his PhD or covered something up or he's actually a fucking retard? Nobody fucking cares. They watch his content for fucking brain rot slop. CDG donated $2. Let me see. That's gross. Thanks for the donation, dude. There's something really fucking annoying going on with YouTube's algorithm. I keep getting recommended, like, I've been watching Vigorous Steve. But rather than getting recommended, like, videos I haven't seen before, it'll just keep recommending the same fucking video I've already seen, like 80, like over and over and over and over and over again. And for some fucking reason, it's recommending so many of these garbage, tiny, worthless fuck channels, that are either run by, like, fucktards who are, like, maybe just out of high school, some fucking idiot twink kids, Or it's AI. It like even though YouTube said they have like this policy against AI where they're not going to allow people to monetize a channel that's just AI slop. I keep getting recommended fucking worthless trash from absolute retards, or AI slop, or it's from channels that I do watch, but it's like the same fucking video I've already seen. So I never end up like seeing anything. Like it's just all garbage. And it's like, what the fuck even is this? 7 creepiest fighting game characters that belong in horror games. Fuck you. Suck my fucking cock. Kart racing is more competitive than you think. Go fuck yourself. Like Adam Savage tested, that's fine. Inside Gorbachev's USSR, that's kind of interesting. The $64 million race to save the Eiffel Tower. Fuck you, suck my fucking dick. 2004 Country Captain Chicken MRE. Why the fuck would I want to watch that shit? Fuck you. Oh, and this cocksucker. This fucking dipshit that I can't fucking stand, and I swear to fucking God,
is mostly fun and
I told YouTube not to recommend this fucker's channel before, and there it is. It's on my fucking recommended feed. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, I've noticed I'm going to fucking Netflix more often to watch shit, because everything YouTube recommends me is fucking unwatchable fucking trash. The fuck do I... Like, why the fuck am I even on this fucking garbage platform anyway? I might as well just go on Netflix. There's no fucking reason to watch any of this horse shit. Look at this stupid fucking trash. Fuck everything.
Agreed, YouTube is so lost, VG.
Yes. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Here's a recommendation that you'll enjoy.
Like, does this even do anything at this point? Like, I can literally fucking click don't recommend over and over and over again on, like, every one of these stupid fucking video. Like, it's not gonna do anything. It's just, like, even when I do that, I still end up getting recommended that same fucking channel that I tell them not to fucking recommend me. It's like, fuck this shit. This is so fucking stupid. Just everything on this fucking platform's fucking trash now. Like, what the fuck is this? Fuck you, I don't want to listen to you, you fucking jackass. Who the fuck is this dickhead? Why the fuck do I want to watch this fucking loser? Fuck you. Just fuck everything. Fuck you. I can't even... For some... yeah, this is great. This is just great. Fuck this. Fuck everything. Like, there's no point. Like, there's some stupid AI algorithm they just recently implemented that has made this fucking website just fucking trash. Just pure fucking garbage. Like, I literally cannot stand fucking YouTube. Oh, look! As if I want to watch this jackass. Fucking... yeah, please, Jeremy, teach me how to be a weak, small fucking loser. As if I'd ever want to watch this loser's fucking channel. It just makes me sick looking at these stupid fucking thumbnails. Fuck you with your fucking thumbnail. Fuck you. Fuck you. Just fuck you. Fuck all these stupid fucking dumb just, god damn it, it just irritates the shit out of me. Just seeing everyone's fucking face. Ugh.
Do you watch Trailer Park Boys on Netflix?
No, haven't watched them in a while. I've seen the two movies, though. Thanks for the donation, E-Nation. Inks donated $2. Let me see. That's literally social media. That's all it is now. Thanks for the donation, Angst.
Agreed, YouTube has never been the same ever since Google preached them.
I think that was a while ago, Dodo, but thanks for the donation. I can't even fucking, like... There's... What the fuck is this? Like, Jesus Christ. I just don't want to see this fucking horse shit. Why am I getting recommended this? Who the fuck is this beta male twink jackass making some fucking, like, stupid food that I obviously don't want to fucking see? Oh my god. I just fucking can't anymore. The only good fucking thing I've been recommended lately for the last, like, month is, fucking James Burke. That's it. Like just James Burke. Everything else is this new horse shit that I just can't fucking stand.
Are Jason, Genova and his misfits still alive?
Big Lenny died, but yeah, the rest of them aren't uploading videos. Thanks for the donation, James.
This is just unhinged. The radical left are going to shut down the government and
why is...
SoCal media is cancer.
Yeah, it is. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Why in the hell is the aspect ratio like this? What do they even call it? Like 21:9 or something?
and inflict massive pain on the American people unless they get their $1.5 trillion wish list of demands. The Trump administration wants to keep the government open for the American people.
Inks donated $2. I'm not watching that. Thanks for the donation.
This is not a campaign email. This is not Truth Social or whatever. This is just the Housing and Urban Development.gov website.
So, Caroline, I know the president is supposed to be with top congressional leaders today. I've heard that they want more funding for illegals, NPR funding, USAID. That seems like some things that are dead on arrival coming to the...
That's what we're fighting for in shutdown?
Maybe review this and would love to hear your opinion on the future of AI.
In 2018, an autonomous vehicle hit and killed Elaine Herzberg in Tempe, Arizona.
What the fuck? First of all, just god damn it! Why does this guy have the legal right to film himself and upload it to the internet? I hate your goddamn ears. I hate your stupid hair. I hate your teeth. I hate your eyes. I hate your fucking glasses. I fucking hate that stupid fucking necklace you're wearing. Fuck you. Oh, and what a stupid fucking topic. Great. A fucking stupid autonomous car fucking ran somebody over. Who the fuck cares? Thanks for the donation, Alan. I can't fucking stand anything right now. Ugh. I think I have a fucking nodule, like, in my neck. And it's really fucking annoying. Oh, Jesus Christ.
You seem upset, Richard.
No, I'm feeling fine. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Provide Rivera for you. Anyway, so if you're interested, go to republic.com/Rivera. That's where we're raising funds. For those that aren't familiar with this, and I know a lot of people have questions, and we had some of our initial investors that aren't really even still clear on what is going on. So we have something called a SAFE. It stands for a Simple Agreement for Future Equity. So what that means is,
I don't know what kind of idiot would give money to that fucking moron. Why? Like, look at this. This is the kind of fucking annoying shit that I just can't fucking stand. When everyone makes a fucking thumbnail, it's all like these stupid fucking faces everybody makes. And then look at this fucking dork in the video. Fuck you. Like it doesn't matter. I can do this for hours and hours and hours, and I'm just gonna be recommended fucking horse shit.
I see every channel you're subscribed to you haven't enabled all notifications. Click the bell icon on, for example, a Destiny vid, and select all notifications. Also, you might find this interesting.
What if I told you...
It doesn't fucking matter, dude. YouTube just does what it fucking does. Doesn't make any fucking difference.
That a Saudi just went viral for saying the one thing you're never allowed to say on Western TV.
Yeah, great, whatever. Like, do you think this is news to me? Yeah, everybody knows the fucking Palestinian state is fake. Yeah, no shit. Thanks for the donation tech advice. Oh my god. Just... Oh, this is a great one. Fuck that guy. Some of these are just baffling. The recommendations.
I literally only get recommended true crime videos and Ukraine war updates. But occasionally there is some totally random video with 3 views by someone I've never heard of talking about some shit I never cared about. Noticed that too. Not alone VG.
Oh, dude, that's like all my fucking feed is. If it's not from tiny ass channels, it's like it's still random fucking shit that I don't give 2 fucking shits about. Like that's all my fucking feed is. It's horrendous. And like again, just everyone's like every fucking thumbnail, I swear, has somebody with some annoying fucking face making some dumb fucking face in the thumbnail. It's just driving me nuts. Thanks for the donation, though, retard. I'm broke as fuck, but love you. Go vegan, be friends with animals. Shout out to Gig. Would you mod Aaron P? I don't know if you're ready for the responsibility yet, Aaron. But maybe one day. Who the fuck cares? Just... I fucking can't anymore.
Why am
I didn't even click on the fucking video. Fucking stupid ass YouTube.
Can we get another fuck you, 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 fuck you. Why you out here raging on stream, nigga? You not doing a good service to the mulattoes.
I can't stop sweating. It's fucking annoying the shit out of me, too. It's not even hot down here, and I'm still fucking sweating. Ugh. You know what it is? I had way too many fucking energy drinks today. I had like 4. I had like 4 of the stupid C4. That's what it is. I had 4 of these.
Almost once a week YouTube subscribes me to some stupid ass channel that I would never subscribe to, like Japanese mukbang or shit that Frank Tefano wouldn't even watch. Use your strength to not pop a blood vessel, at least not one stream, toes and all.
Yeah, I'll try to keep calm. Thanks for the donation, less is more.
You really should give the recommend all option on your subs bell icon a try, because I'm not lying, my homepage feed basically only shows subscription videos and related interesting videos.
Some of these things I know I didn't subscribe to. Yeah, some of these I know I didn't. Fucking weird. Fucking retarded.
You had 4 of what that made you hot?
I don't know if that's making me sweat a lot right now, but I think that's why I'm so on edge and agitated right now. Because after I had 2 in the morning, which is what I normally do. I'll have like 1 right when I wake up, and then like a few hours later I might have another one like around 10, 11. Today, what ended up happening was, I worked out, and then I was feeling really drowsy, and I wanted to make sure that I could stream tonight. So I had another energy drink, and then I still felt really drowsy, so then I had another one, and then I started the stream, so that was 4 total, and I think it's just fucking annoying the shit out of me right now. Thanks for the donation, though, James. Bootycom donated $2. Let me see.
So as you can see, I've done the middle. Just about to do those edge bits. It does get a bit messy at the little curves, as I say. And we're doing that one at the end. But, just started doing this one to sharpen. Flip it over. Away we go. He says. And that's it is better to cut your trowel sort of this way. It's going to need a lot of so it's just.
What the fuck are you even doing? Thanks for the donation, Bootycam. Dr. Berg donated $3. Let me see.
Enzymes. Okay, I'm going to try to keep this real simple. The temperature regulation in your body is in the brain. You can call it the thermostat. Okay, it's like in the hypothalamus. So it's very similar to what I have in my studio right now. I have the controls, and there's a temperature of 70 degrees. So anything that's controlling the whole. So that's as deep as I'm going to get with that. So these medications work by kind of completing this communication, and so it's out this.
Yeah, I don't think Dr. Berg, well, not Dr. Berg, is going to do anything for me. Thanks for the donation, dude. Bootycomb donated $2. Let me see.
Hello, YouTube, and the first.
Yes, that is part 1. Dude, I don't even understand. Like, you can't get a pair of sheet metal shears and cut this much more accurately and without making a ton of fucking noise?
Getting this shape marking on there, a curve here at the end, which as far as I can see.
I don't know. Thanks for the donation, Bootycom.
This may cheer you up.
Today, Greta Thunberg, for instance, also.
Well, she's just a troublemaker, you know. I mean, she's no longer into the environment now. She's into this. She's a troublemaker. She has an anger management problem. I think she should see a doctor. She needs anger. If you ever watch her, she's a young person. She's so angry. She's so crazy. Now you can have her.
Forgot to mention retarded. Ukraine has set a new world record for longest suicide drone strike in a war. That's cool. Nice. Yeah, dude, fuck Russia. Thanks for the donation, retard.
Energy drinks also mainline caffeine.
Yes, they are pretty much just caffeine. Thanks for the donation, though, Hames Wade. Dipshit donated $2.
About your friend.
Oh, hell no.
Thanks for the donation, dude. Retard donated $2. I'm a James Burke fan too, nigga. Did you see the new trailer? Look.
Burke. I'm going to take you on a journey through time. Charting the people, objects, and ideas that change history. Now,
That was good. Thanks for the donation, retard.
Remember that time you wanted to make a video of your grandpa having a heart attack just because he ate meat? Guess what?
Don't fucking care. Oh, man. Wonder if there's any other random people who are going to come across that and, like, not understand the context and be like, what the fuck?
I hope you liked that, Richard. I just put that together in the last 10 minutes. I'm a pro. Can I be your favorite troll, please?
Yeah, sure. You've earned it. Thanks for the donation, CDG.
What must
He really hangs out with a lot of dorks. A lot of dorks.
What is up, guys, and welcome to another video.
Oh, what? What? Always. Yeah.
You know, I hate this guy's face. I've always hated Max Chewing's face. Imagine being friends with this guy who has a face like this. How the fuck does he even have any friends? Just, he's fucking irritating, and, like, it's not just his face, too. His face matches his personality. Annoying.
Thanks, Richard. Now I'm going to masturbate to burps. Ta-da. JK, I'll be watching your stream. Dude, I have so many burp videos you wouldn't believe. My hard drive is full. I have thousands of videos. I am obsessed with burps. I love you, Richard. I love you.
Rather not see the burps. Thanks for the donation, though, CDG.
I'm always like, damn, he's just all the.
This is where I'll be getting oiled up in 1 hour.
Why do you hate Harley Johnston? Dipshit.
Launching Alfleet EU, our first expo, all the way up to opening. And this is our retail store for Alfleet. So every drop, we essentially drop everything early here. So it's a first release to be the next, have real exclusive, like at Expo Convention Center. So it's like, need it. I think.
So, I know Christian Guzman went on steroids. Did he, like, go on and then figure he doesn't want to be on them anymore and stop? Because, he doesn't look any better than I recall from, like, a few years ago.
The cool thing about this place is, like, there was no designer or no interior designer. It was, like, literally me and, like, that was really it. Sketching and just a bunch of shit. So we really, like, probably took way too much time and effort that I could have probably shrunk it down a lot, but every inch of this place, like every metal fixture, every one of the brands that's in here, even like we have Sour Shirts, we have 3D, we've got Buff Bunny, like every inch of each retail store was like really thoughtfully like designed to kind of, you know, be the brand. And
I know you don't like the burps, but I can't help myself. I like seeing your disgust. I actually have come while watching your stream, countless times. Did you know that? Dude, I have the biggest burp AMD muscle girl fetish. I wanna see you fuck a girl.
Alright, thanks, CDG.
In addition to my previous tip, which should take a while but worth it in the end, you then should check the notification bell on the top right every day for new uploads that interest you.
Alright, I'll be sure to do that. Thanks for the donation, VG's Tech Advice.
we only have my friends' brands in here. You know, it's nothing, I don't know. This is Buff Bunny. This is my wife, Heidi. She runs a female only.
Dude, like, everyone's a fucking retard. That's why they fucking walk into stores like this. Like, yeah, this has to be for, like, 15-year-old fucktard kids. Ew, things are shiny. There's gay retarded music playing. Oh, everything is at least $50 overpriced. Yeah. This is awesome. I'm gonna use my parents' credit card. Fucking hate, like, just... society makes me sick.
Clothing brand, very successful brand, and this is kind of her footprint to have for her store and her boutique. So, what the fuck? That doesn't happen often. We have Charlie here in Aka, another one of my friends growing up. We played basketball in 8th grade together. Now we have retail stores together, so it's pretty dope. And then once you go into here, you check in the front desk. You can either go into the lounge, which we have all of our couches, our chandeliers, our common work tables. We can seat up to 24 people here at Alpha Eats. This is the cafe run by my mom. Our recovery rooms over here. Cryo lounge chairs, the hydro massage chairs. Dr. Stamps.
Dude, who the fuck even uses any of this shit? Like, I don't get it. Like, why would you want to be around people, you know, in a gym thing? Like, I just want to get fucking home and just be left the fuck alone. Who are the fucking weirdos hanging around this place? Everyone's fucking weird. Everyone's like a stupid weird-ass dork. Versified donated $2. Let me see.
Let it rain on me, let it rain on me. All the shame, all the pain, put the blame on me. Been through hella, can you hate on me?
This guy is gay as shit.
Been through hella, can you hate every morning?
That was gay. Thanks for the donation, Versified.
Here is a taste of what I enjoy.
All right, last working set. Of course.
This chick is fucking weird. Does she have an OnlyFans linked on her? She just does this? Weird. She's pretty alright. I'd like to see the derriere, though. Yeah, Vlada Slava's hot, but she's boring as fuck, dude. I don't think I've seen anybody with such a non-existent personality as her. She talks so slowly. Takes forever to, like, fucking say anything or make any kind of point. And just like... She's so fucking boring. I think I've accepted that I just have no interest in ever dealing with anybody ever again in my entire fucking life. I just, you know, cats, they're fine, but other than that, just fuck it. I'm not fucking wasting my time with people anymore. Thanks for the donation, though, CDG.
Stump out the spine. This is by far the most popular gym out of all three. Gym number 2. So we built this coverway. It's just like, it rains a lot in Houston, so we wanted to be sure you could stay dry, going from gym 1 to gym 2. Got our ramps here, 3 different angles of degrees. Mirrors everywhere, because we're conceited as hell over here in Houston. And then...
Holy shit, look at that. Sprint.
Yeah.
Give it a...
And here's the other side of it.
I'm not watching these. These are all just stupid burps. Thanks for the donation, CDG.
To go? That's killer. Do you actually do it?
No, I've never done them. No. I did them once with Jesse James West. That's it. It's like the hardcore, kind of reminiscent of the old Outplay gym days where we had no AC and it was just kind of bare bones. So this second gym, this is by far my favorite. It goes up to 200 pounds in this gym. We play the music way louder in here. Whatever curse words, it's all good. Like this is just the raw gym.
Hello.
Hello.
Grandma.
Username, donate $2. Did you say you're on Reddit? What's your current protocol? So if a hypothetical person wanted to purchase it, where would you suggest they find a supplier? Wherever the fuck you want. It's not regulated or anything, so wherever the fuck you want. I'm on 1 milligram a week, split over 2 doses. So Wednesday I have 0.5 milligram, Saturday I have 0.5 milligram. But you can get it anywhere. There's no regulations or restrictions on Retatrutide, so get it wherever the fuck you want. Thanks for the donation, though, dude.
She's about to be 12 years old. But I think Huskies will live to like 17, 19. So I'm trying to get her to 20.
Oh.
And see?
Stimulation.
Oh, that's a
Super
very
secret
nice
flavor which has not
dog.
been released yet. No one is allowed to see.
I really like that dog.
This is the third caffeinated beverage of today, which I need because it's been a long day.
Oh, I would want to be friends with that dog. That's a nice dog. Oh, he keeps saying words.
So today we're going to be following Christian's program, which
Jesus Christ, pink is not a color that works for him. Holy fuck, does he look gay?
is going to be upper body focused.
Upper body focused.
I've never seen Mike Thurston look so fucking gay in my life. Jesus Christ, pink just looks hideous on him.
It's in strength focus technically. It's a strength block. So this is like the kind of not as fun as like the hypertrophy blocks, but got to get it done. So lots of tempo stuff. Pretty simple exercises, but just focusing on form and tempo.
So we're doing 5 second negative.
5 second negative on incline dumbbell, neutral grip. Okay, so it's gonna be 5 working sets. We're going 8 reps, 7 reps, 6 reps, 5 reps, 4 reps. So pretty much just going up in weight every set.
For me, this is a 1:40 a.m. workout because I'm still on Dubai time. Fuck.
Yeah.
Outside of the vlogging world.
I saw you did one with like a monk.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
The variety of guests has been huge. Like talking about ancient civilizations, aliens, to business, to relationships. My recovery.
Yeah.
Because I used to train too often, too much volume in a session.
Yeah.
And either I'd be fucked up for the rest of the day, or I'd be sore shit and just like not motivated to train the. So when
Booty cam, donate $2. Let me see.
It just won't split.
Okay. Looks like you're having trouble there. Gross. Fuck you. Username Johnny Taylor's family member in the 60s has had type 2 diabetes and some cognitive decline possibly originating from it. Based on your research, do you recommend any substances like Greta? Recommend you lose weight, stop being a fat fuck. If Greta helps, then go for it. Heard semaglutides have shown some preliminary cognitive protection. Any thoughts? Yeah, they prevent you from being fat. So no shit. Obesity is probably the biggest risk factor for cognitive decline, so yeah, whatever helps you not be fat. But Retta is the most effective weight loss drug on the market right now. So you know, whatever you want to do. Thanks for the donation username.
When you come to choosing the final flavor, you've got like
6 variants, yeah.
How do you even? That must be hard.
It's extremely hard, and like you get so tasting them back to back too. You
It's like they're all the same. Almost.
Yeah, you fuck yourself. So like I like to have at least 3 people with me to kind of like get their opinions.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going to knock out. I have to knock out 14 flavors in 2 days. I'm going on a trip to Cali to do it. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you gonna go with the team or just yourself?
I'm gonna take.
I want to help contribute to all the yeah.
You know,
if I want to, I'm not gonna go ask them for a freebie.
Fuck, 7? God damn.
Strict form though.
Kill you.
It was he was doing that to mentally test me.
Ah.
It was just the same shit over. He's a cool guy though.
Yeah.
Cool guy. Let's do a quick pod. Talk about.
Destiny's alive right now. Portland anti-Trump debate event. That's going late. Would you ever go on D-ball or Anadrol if you wanted to go for another bench PR? D-ball, no. Why the fuck would I take D-ball? Anadrol, it's only for a few days or a week or two, you know, whatever, maybe. But I don't think I'd bother. Yeah, I think it was the energy drinks that were making me go fucking nuts. I think it's wearing off finally. Dude, I was so fucking agitated. Ugh.
Can you check the onboarding devices for unlocking something and not for those? It looks like perhaps a bit of fruit or something, like an apple we're talking about coming from a tree.
Huh. Weird. Yeah, Mike Thurston works out with a lot of douchebags. Guess that's just what he does. What's the next thing you're gonna start taking in your cycle? Probably just more testosterone. Dude, what the fuck? Why are there so many of these fucking Asian beetles? Holy crap. Username Donatillers, what was your first week on Reddit like? It's nothing. Any reason you chose it over FDA approved tirzepatide? Who the fuck cares if it's FDA approved or not? Reddit is a triple agonist, so it works better than tirzepatide. It's going to be better for glucose control. And it clearly causes more weight loss. Have you ever worried about there being any unfound side effects? Because it's not fully approved yet. No. Thanks for your expertise. This is true of all GLP-1 agonists. You can notice that they accelerate your heart rate. I was getting some heart racing on Reddit, but you can get that on any GLP-1 agonist, and depending on the dose and how you in particular react to some of these things, you might feel some nausea. Some people get digestive upset, but that's literally any GLP-1 agonist. So they all pretty much work the same. Reddit just has, it's a triple agonist, so it works slightly differently, but there's no reason to think it's more dangerous than any other GLP-1 drug. They're pretty much all the same. And Reddit is literally just tirzepatide. The only difference is the glucagon action. Thanks for the donation, though, username. D donate $2 in a non-political correct world. The most annoying woman award would go to someone like Greta or the Pink Lady. Also, new chubby emu vid.
JC.
Well, the fucking Code Pink fucking dipshit. She's way more annoying than Greta. Like, Greta, you can just say, okay, she's a retarded, lying, dumbass kid who just doesn't want to work for a living or some shit. Like, that Code Pink lady is just a disgusting, lying fucking traitor. Can't fucking stand her. So yeah, the Code Pink fucking bitch, I fucking can't stand her. She's way worse. Thanks for the donation, though, D.
Is a 21-year-old woman presenting to the emergency room with extreme nausea. She tries to talk to the admitting physician, but she can only retch and dry heave. It didn't seem like there was anything left. JC was a college student. She had stopped off that morning at the cafeteria to get some breakfast so she could hang out before class. While she was eating, her roommate Rachel was studying at the desk. JC didn't really get along with Rachel. She thought Rachel was weird. And sometimes, Rachel would come in with her boyfriend. JC and her friends found them to be an awkward couple, and there were just so many jokes and memes to go around because of their situation. But none of that mattered. The cute, pig-shaped pastry was soft and delicious, and JC was just so happy to be eating such good food. The cafeteria was always delightful, but very quickly, JC could feel that something was wrong. Before she was going to leave for class, JC felt something turn over in her stomach. She involuntarily made horrible sounds. In the bathroom now, a movement emerged. It just happened so suddenly, and it wouldn't stop. As it kept going, JC could see her heartbeat in her field of vision. Other students in the dorm found her on the floor, and she's brought to the emergency room, where we are now. At examination, it was pretty clear what was happening. Nausea, abdominal pain, college cafeteria food. Sounds like food poisoning. Doing anything more than just watching and waiting might do more harm than good. But as the minutes pass, JC becomes hypotensive. Hypo meaning low, tension referring to blood pressure, low blood pressure coupled with a fever that she has now. This not only gives more evidence that this is food poisoning, but also that it's a very horrible version that's happening. But why? When the bacteria or fungus that causes food poisoning makes its way into the bloodstream, it causes the immune system to react. Blood vessels get dilated. You're probably familiar with this. Whenever you have inflammation, for example, when you get a cut or when you get a
Username Johnny Tiller's last question on Reddit. What do you think a reasonable cost per milligram for it? For Canadian dollars, usually you're seeing it sold for around 150 to 200 per 10 milligrams, usually. I've seen some places selling it for 220 for 20 milligrams. I don't know if that's real, though. I haven't seen their third-party testing report. But usually it's being sold in 10 milligram vials for somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 or 150 to $200. Our doctors overseeing the adoption of Greta to help him... Wait. Are doctors overseeing the adoption of Greta to help him find his right dose or not, since it's not approved yet? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. By the way, you seriously look like 10 years ago since you lost weight. Okay, thanks. The starting dose for Greta is 2 milligrams per week. I'd recommend splitting the dose over 2 days. If you just take one large dose per week, you're probably going to get nausea and side effects, so I would split up the dose twice per week. And you may want to consider, if you need a higher dose, possibly even splitting it up more than that, like either microdosing every day or splitting it up like 3 or 4 days out of the week. But just start with 2 milligrams, just 1 milligram shots twice a week, and then see how you feel. Wait at least a month. Like, it's not rocket science. Thanks for the donation, though, username.
zit, the area becomes swollen. This is the immune system reacting, dilating the blood vessels. But zits and cuts are local. A zit doesn't swell your entire face. A cut on your hand doesn't swell your entire arm. But JC's reaction is her entire body. And this is
Congratulations, you're banned.
Called septic shock. Two things are done immediately. First, doctors order antibiotics. They don't know exactly which bacteria is involved, but they give a general one with broad coverage first. Then they take a sample of her blood so that they can culture and grow the bacteria in it to determine exactly which antibiotic will be best. And second, if blood pressure is low because the blood vessels are dilated, then it means that blood vessels have
I don't really know anything about Motsi. Just anecdotally, people say they have a lot of energy while using it. I looked into SLU because somebody asked me about it. There's literally like no evidence it does absolutely anything, and anecdotally, the only thing people report are just feeling hotter. I haven't actually seen anything convincing that it actually results in more weight loss. I really don't know about Motsi though. Like, again, it's just some people saying, I've just seen some people say here and there they feel like they have more energy with Motsi.
Have more space, so infusing fluid into the veins to push up against that space will help return blood pressure closer to normal and get blood flowing into the organs again. And this was given to her, but it wasn't enough. It's an hour later. JC's blood pressure is lower than before, but even worse, her heart rhythm is starting to become erratic. Typically, when patients remain hypotensive despite fluid resuscitation, medicines called pressors can be given.
Why are you asking me if I'm considering taking any peptides? I've literally said I'm on 5 IUs of growth hormone per day. What do you think fucking growth hormone is?
These constrict the blood vessels, and this was given to JC. But as the hour continues, JC starts having a heart attack.
Like Greta is also
Hey, I got a quick question. If you're learning something from this video and you're not subscribed yet, I'd appreciate it if you did and come back to see the video that I post next month too. I make these videos for fun and I've been publishing on average one a month since 2017. No AI, I do almost every single part of making these videos because I genuinely enjoy making them. And I hope that you like my videos too. Appreciate you. JC is only 21. Heart attacks often happen because arteries get clogged over decades of unhealthy lifestyle choices. And they certainly don't happen because of food poisoning, meaning that something else is going on. But what is it? The emergency room started reporting that it had multiple college students all presenting with the exact same extreme nausea, abdominal pain, and
What is the safest highest dosage for BPC 157? Is 2 milligrams per day or every other day okay? Healing from a bad ankle injury, very low-grade ligament injury. K-Science has a new weight loss peptide called Omnitide. It's a 4-part peptide. He has good info videos.
Generally speaking, dosing with BPC is usually about 250 to 500 micrograms, split over 2 or 3 doses per day. You could probably inject an entire vial of BPC and nothing will happen. It's just most effective when you split it over multiple injections every day. So again, it works via angiogenesis. That's the primary, pathway in which it helps heal things like tendons. So, yeah, when I was taking it, I was injecting 250 micrograms twice a day, and that seemed to help a lot for my knees. I know. I have no fucking idea why you'd use a dosing schedule of 2 milligrams per day or every other day. So you just want to, you need to inject it for maximum efficacy multiple times a day. So 2 or 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, night, or just morning, night. And usually people use 250 to 500 micrograms per injection. So, that's just typically what you do. But, I mean, as far as it being safe, like, you could probably inject the entire vial, nothing's going to happen. But thanks for the donation, testing pens, appreciate it.
and hypotension that JC had. Some had fevers, others didn't. Everyone's hypotension worsened despite fluid resuscitation, and this gave one of the doctors a clue. A couple years earlier, this doctor had been working on research involving a particular kind of leukemia. Leuk from Greek leukos, meaning white, referring to white blood cell, and emia, meaning presence in blood, a cancer that makes too many white blood cells. 20 years earlier, the government had received reports of an herbalist in the north who was prescribing and dispensing natural therapies for cancer. This was based on a formulation that was described in a 2,000-year-old pharmacopoeia. When health investigators reached
Oh yes, nothing could go wrong there.
the herbalist, they became determined to study this therapy closer, but with modern techniques. And JC's doctor had worked on this research. He noticed that if too much was given, the patients would experience nausea, abdominal pain, and hypotension refractory to fluids and pressors. And sometimes it would look like they were having a heart attack. He suspected that all of these students coming in now, who had all the same signs and symptoms, may have somehow been poisoned with the chemical in that treatment. At this point, there were
Biggest dono I've ever gotten. I think it was like 10 grand or something on a stream.
hundreds of students all coming in sick with the same problem. The hospital was overflowing, and some students had to be transferred to other facilities further out in town. Authorities were notified, and an investigation was started. The university chemistry lab had recently reported that some of its chemicals used for experiments were missing. At this particular lab, students and faculty needed to swipe their ID to enter. Entry logs were kept, so there were records of who had gone in. At the kitchen, utensils, containers, and food leftovers were taken in and inspected, and it was here where authorities found massive traces of one particular chemical that definitely wasn't supposed to be in food. This also happened to be the same chemical that was reported missing from that one particular lab. Typically, this lab didn't have students entering in late at night. It was the undergraduate facility, so people mostly just went in for daytime class and then left afterwards. It was unusual for someone to walk in past 11 at night, but when the records were analyzed, someone had used JC's roommate Rachel's ID to enter at 11 at night. When authorities went into Rachel's dorm, she wasn't there, but on the desk was a bag of powder. When they tested it, they found out that it was the chemical that was missing from the lab. The same chemical that was found on the cafeteria utensils, and the same chemical that JC's doctor had researched for leukemia and knew could cause all the signs and symptoms when too much was given to humans. This chemical was arsenic. Sometimes cafeteria food doesn't have the greatest selection, but one place where you can get great gourmet selection is this video sponsor, Cook Unity. Cook Unity is a chef that performed meals on a rib with juice and bite wonder video. Chubb highly recommend the fluids that were given for her hypotension. It was the correct treatment for what looked like septic shock that was happening at the time, except JC didn't have septic shock. She had arsenic poisoning, but they didn't know that. She wasn't hypotensive because of an immune reaction to bacteria. She was hypotensive because water was getting redistributed throughout her body by arsenic, while her cardiac and vascular smooth muscle were becoming dysfunctional. And everything happening to her makes sense now because of how arsenic poisons the body. The periodic table of elements gives us a guide. Each column is called a group. Elements in a group tend to behave similarly. It's just that when you go down a column, the elements get heavier, they get bigger, and certain features start to appear. Arsenic is in group 15. It can behave similar to phosphorus and nitrogen, and this tells us a lot because of where these are in the body. Let's start with phosphorus. Cells use ATP for energy, adenosine triphosphate, and proteins are made of amino acids. Amino from amine, which means from ammonia, which is made of nitrogen. And when cells need to make energy, they do that using enzymes, which are proteins, which are made from nitrogen. This starts to make sense now. Energy production comes from sugar. Chemically, the citric acid cycle sets up the cell to produce a lot of energy, and when arsenic is present, the enzymes that perform the citric acid cycle get broken. The body recycles enzymes. They're very expensive to produce, but when arsenic is present, the enzymes in the citric acid cycle can't be recycled anymore because arsenic breaks them and then energy production stops. But this isn't the only thing happening. In the body, arsenic takes a form that chemically and structurally resembles phosphate, called arsenate. And cells sometimes can't tell the difference. Cells will add phosphate to adenosine diphosphate, ADP, to make adenosine triphosphate, ATP. But if arsenic is present, instead of taking an additional phosphate, it takes an arsenate. This can't be used for energy, and the cell gets totally drained of its resources, and then it ceases to exist. This could explain JC's heart attack, but we know that arsenic does even more than this. Heart muscle has ion channels for its electrical conduction. These are proteins, and it appears that arsenic blocks these, altering heart rhythm, creating arrhythmia. As the rhythm keeps changing, it can possibly get the heart to shake in place. A full contraction can't happen as the muscle gets stuck in a loop. Blood can't get anywhere else in the body. This is cardiac arrest, and it can and will kill you in seconds. But luckily for JC, this hasn't happened yet. And it hasn't happened for the 800 other students who were poisoned from eating this unfortunate cafeteria food. But how did this happen? Investigators were able to gather the information. JC's roommate Rachel was notorious on campus. Her boyfriend Chad was a non-traditional student. He was at least 10 years older than everyone else. People weren't sure if he was actually a student, or if he was held back and just wanted to hang out in the classroom with others, or if he worked as an assistant for the university. But Chad was married with kids. Rachel knew this, and eventually other students knew this too. One evening, Rachel had become upset with Chad. She was about to graduate and she wanted him to leave his family so that she could start her life with him. But he told her that that wasn't going to happen. He told her that their relationship would always be her as the woman on the side, and she couldn't take this. Rachel broke up with Chad and then accused and reported him for assault to the school administration. Chad was expelled, and when the other students found out what Rachel did, she became to them the funniest joke on campus, and some even petitioned for Chad's expulsion to be reversed. When Rachel found out that all the other students were and had been clowning on her, she came up with a horrible idea.
Yeah, that's what women do. Of course.
When she was in chemistry lab, there was a chemical that the teaching assistants warned about. Despite it being a traditional medicine, it was well known throughout history as a poison because it was...
So a fucking chick lied about a sexual assault and nearly killed like hundreds of fucking people by poisoning them with arsenic because she was upset that some dude she was cheating with wouldn't leave his wife and kids for her. Like, just only a fucking woman would come up with like such a fucking stupid idea. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, dudes do stupid shit, but I mean, like, give me a fucking break. Only a woman would think of something so fucking retarded.
One that could be undetectable because it caused such a general sickness that would waste doctors' time in trying to find out what it was. Happy to take her revenge on others, she took all the chemical from the lab one evening. She didn't even think that swiping her ID would leave a record. And then she went to the cafeteria to dump it into the flour used to make pastries and noodles. And unfortunately, the kitchen staff in the morning had no idea that their flour was contaminated with arsenic. It has no taste, it has no odor, it has no color. And when it was breakfast and lunchtime, every student who ate dishes made from that flour, including pig-shaped pastries, became ill. The interesting thing about arsenic is that it isn't a metal. 20 different amino acids are combined to make up all of the proteins in our body, and 2 of these have sulfur. In the setting of...
And Destiny's talking about, yeah. Really.
It's from a human and says at what point is moral value lost. You don't get out of that by saying that I already value animals, because it doesn't start from that. It would be true of your own view that if you said, again, I took the little beat detector and found out that Destiny was an android, that would presumably be problematic from your own view.
I mean, maybe. I don't know how we would resolve that. I mean, we can talk about that next.
You say maybe, but is the trait
hold on, you keep trying to... I'm just trying to understand your argument, okay?
Okay, sure.
So it sounds like you're trying to say that I'm using name the trait to draw a distinction between human and non-human, and I'm using that to justify why one is okay and one isn't okay, but that ultimately, if I were to explore that, I wouldn't be able to justify my arguments there. But that if we look at Trump, I'm trying to criticize Trump, and you're saying, well, your criticism of Trump is that he's essentially using, like, name the trait between immigrants and non-immigrants, therefore we're both powering our positions with the same type of argumentation. So how can I criticize one versus
Not the
other?
same... I don't know if same type of argumentation means the same underlying logic that attempts to make a distinction between...
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I understand your perspective when it comes to that. We would have to explore, I guess, the vegan side of the argument more. Do you think on, I guess on a broader level, do you feel like there is a difference between those two types of people? Or in your mind, is every single non-vegan basically like incapable of logically criticizing like any other non-vegan's
No,
position?
that's a separate question, right? Being able to logically criticize somebody else that's worse than you is distinct from whether or not you succumb to the underlying logic of the other party in question.
Okay, do you think that it might be that one party might be preferable even if they use the same
sure.
underlying
So
logic?
I can understand where, if I understand you correctly, you're trying to say, for example, can a pedophile judge Hitler? Of course they could. For example, somebody who's bad can judge somebody else who's worse, but still operate under some sort of disregard for the rights of other beings, that doesn't really get you out of the position in question. And so all I understand from you so far
Okay,
is
wait,
I'm very confused.
so then, just so we can establish, so I can criticize Trump, and I can say that one side, the Democrats, is preferable to the other side.
It was never a matter of if you could say that you could criticize
Well, sure,
Trump.
then we should be able to say yes, then I can, right? I can, right?
It's if you had a morally relevant distinction.
Okay, but I'm just we have some shared ground. Like we can say that one side is preferable to the other, even if both are non-vegan.
Yeah, we've gone through the concept of moral dilemmas, but this is a matter of moral sufficiency.
I understand that, but I'm just asking the question again. Can we say that we prefer one side over the other, even if both sides are non-vegan, because of other moral positions they might hold that might have some more relevance?
Saying that you have a preference is not the question, though, that was originally posed to you.
No, that's the question I'm asking right now.
Sure.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I think he should just admit that veganism is correct. He could just... Like, what's the point? He keeps getting, like, fucking dunked on in with these vegan debates. Like, looks silly. And I know he doesn't really want to argue the issue much, so why doesn't he just admit veganism's right?
Heavy metal poisoning like mercury, lead, and thallium, the metals will interface with sulfur to break normal proteins, causing nerve damage, tissue damage, and wreaking havoc on the human body. When arsenic disturbs human proteins, it does so through sulfur, just like the heavy metals do, despite it not being a heavy metal. But if it does this, then it means that the treatment for arsenic could be the same one that's used for heavy metal poisoning. One answer could be to put sulfur in the body so that it can hold on to and capture the poison molecules and then neutralize them. This is called chelation. JC's doctor had noticed that her illness was similar to the patients who had received too much arsenic for leukemia. He was able to suspect this early enough to give her Suxmer. This would trap the excess arsenic in hopes that it would keep the poison away from body tissues and organs. When a mass poisoning situation seemed likely, he recommended this preemptively to the doctors for the patients who arrived early, but there wasn't enough to go around for 800 poisoned students. At the dorm room, authorities caught up with Rachel. Under pressure and with all the evidence presented against her, she cracked. She confessed and told them how it went down, and it was exactly as they were able to gather. Arsenic has an interesting history. We already covered how a pharmacopoeia from ancient China documented it as a therapy, but the Greeks knew it too, and the Romans called it arsenicum. The ancient world used it as a very discreet poison. It wasn't easily detectable, and the resulting illness was nonspecific. In medieval Europe knew it as inheritance powder. Today we can detect it, but it still has the ability to slip unnoticed sometimes. And arsenic poisoning wasn't always deliberate. During the Victorian era, green wallpaper was very popular. This green was achieved using copper arsenite, and eventually people had a concern that the dust and plaster fragments from the wallpaper would fall onto the floor, onto tables, and onto food, and onto beds while one was sleeping at night. There was a suspicion that this was causing illness. And summer humidity would make cellulose and wallpaper paste damp. This would grow mold that can convert the arsenic in the green dye to trimethylarsine gas that has a garlic odor and may have been responsible for then unexplained deaths inside homes that had this green wallpaper. And sometimes people would wear green clothes with this arsenic-laden pigment. It's hard to know if consumers actually died from this, but what we do know is that the workers who produced the wallpaper and the garments were ones who would suffer from chronic poisoning. Interestingly, one person who did get ill from arsenic in the ceiling was the US ambassador to Italy in the 1950s. White lead arsenate fell from rosettes on her bedroom's decorated ceiling in the US embassy because of a vibrating washing machine on the floor above, and it caused her to become so sick that she had to resign in 1956. Today, most arsenic poisoning cases are chronic, different from JC's acute poisoning case. It's the 53rd most common element in the Earth's crust, but the 22nd most...
Oh yeah, dude. Everything in the Victorian era would fucking kill you. Lead, arsenic. There was a bunch of refrigerants that were fucking highly poisonous. The clothes, some of the clothes they wore were like highly flammable. Like, I wonder if some of the retardation we deal with has like something to do with people getting like some fucked up chemical exposure. You know, like, I wonder if there's, like, so many dumbasses, you know, is partly due to just some of this toxic shit that people have been exposed to for so long.
Most abundant element in seawater. Arsenic in the groundwater gets consumed by more than 140 million people around the world. The low to moderate prolonged exposure causes a different set of problems distinct from JC's case. But arsenic causes cancer. It can cause the hyperpigmentation of the skin and keratosis, as well as a gangrene called Blackfoot disease. Because it can behave like a heavy metal in the body, it can cause numbing and weakness by damaging the nerves while causing liver damage, all over the span of years to decades with continued exposure. And of course, one of the most immediate problems coming from this chronic setting, just like the acute, is an increase in cardiovascular all-cause mortality, just like in JC's case. In the hospital, doctors were able to monitor her to make sure that her heart didn't stop beating. Her heart rhythm slowly started to revert back to normal. Outside of early chelation therapy, there isn't any other treatment for acute arsenic poisoning, and there's no telling what kind of long-term damage that any of the students who were poisoned will have later. But at least for now, JC was able to regain consciousness after several days in the hospital. Rachel was tried in court. The judgment was carried out swiftly, and she was sentenced. And luckily for JC and the 800 other students, they were all able to make a full recovery.
Retard donated $2. Russian electricity infrastructure is entering a systemic crisis. Capacity shortage. 25 gigawatts, 9% growing, caused by network overload or not equipment. That's good, I guess.
I don't particularly
Thanks for the donation, retard.
see a lot of females with healthy testosterone levels. We see a very similar progression of mental health issues, especially, and physical health issues in women, just like we do in men.
Oh yeah, mental health for sure with women.
Anxiety, depression, lack of motivation. Testosterone is, in fact, a female hormone. I think it is we're going to talk about testosterone replacement therapy today for women and just testosterone in general for women. I like this subject because I still think it's pretty damn fringe in the conventional world, especially, but even in some of the hormone replacement therapy sections of our wellness universe, I feel like there are still people who kind of miss the mark with testosterone, or they feel really, really scared of testosterone, for women especially, because they just kind of, again, think about it as a male hormone, and it's going to make women grow beards and all these crazy things are going to happen. So I want to kind of explore this real quick. So first and foremost, I want to clarify that testosterone is in fact a female hormone. Men and women both produce testosterone, just like men and women both produce estrogen and progesterone. Right? We're not all that different from each other on that front. Now, of course, the amounts that we produce and the available receptors that we have on our cells and all those sorts of things vary very dramatically. But at the end of the day, as human beings, as an organism of the same species, what I mean? Like we're one and the same when it comes to what exactly we are actually producing. It just might not be a one-to-one. So I like to make this caveat because, again, we hear the same argument against progesterone in men. Oh, you don't need progesterone. Men don't need that. It's going to make them feel terrible. Well, maybe they don't need a lot of it, or maybe they all don't need it, but it's not to say that we don't need it at all. In fact, I would argue that we all absolutely do need it. It's just a matter of how much and when and why. Okay. So for women, testosterone is the same. We have seen studies, since the 60s, 70s, 80s, where we've seen testosterone levels declining in men. Now, we haven't seen such rigorous studies like that in men as we have for females. However, what I can practically guarantee you, just based on my scientific assumptions, that men and women are quite similar, and that whatever endocrine disrupting chemicals are out there affecting us as men are likely affecting women too, of course. Well, then there's probably a pretty much one-to-one chance that whatever affects a female hormonally is probably affecting a male hormonally. Now, again, that might not be an exact one-to-one, of course, but it's still affecting us at some rate. And so have women potentially lost, 40 to 60% of their total testosterone levels since the 60s, 70s, and even the 80s? Well, absolutely. I mean, there's no question. When I see older reference ranges for women, even 10 years ago, when I first started in as a provider, as a nurse practitioner, when I first saw total testosterone levels in men and women, both of them were slightly higher than they were now 10 years later. And they dropped. You see it almost every decade. You see a drop there, and that's of course because we're, getting these pools of people, 2,000 or 3,000 people at a time. LabCorp, Quest, they have these, quote unquote healthy individuals from an age range of 18 to 65 or 75, and they have them go through all these hoops to get blood work done, and what we end up with is a range of testosterone. And so that's where we get our reference ranges from. A very similar, how should I say, progression of mental health issues, especially, and physical health issues in women, just like we do in men. And what would those things be? Well, for example, anxiety, depression, lack of motivation, that decreased sense of self-confidence, the ability to feel assertive, extremely safe, and extremely effective if done appropriately. Okay, so one of the means in which we should be using testosterone for females is, of course,
I haven't seen any data on like women's testosterone going down. Like, it would make sense if men's testosterone is declining over time, that women's is as well. I just haven't seen any like actual research on it. I guess because it's like not as publicized and crap. Ugh. Son of a bitch.
Being emerges from what?
From our DNA.
So you're just trying to say you can't imagine an alternate being that looks like you but doesn't have human species?
I'm saying that it doesn't seem to be a thing that's part of that category of human being.
Of the human, yeah. I mean, well, that's your trait, right? It's stipulated that they don't have the species human. So, but your problem was that it was a logical impossibility. That doesn't encapsulate a logical impossibility if you can imagine the being.
No, but it would radically change the way that I would view that category, and there would be a bunch.
Yeah, here we go.
Tips for getting.
Oh.
Tips for getting over a breakup? Is the key just to focus on yourself? I feel like I'm mostly over my ex. We broke up 3 years ago. I just don't really feel interested in dating. Like, I don't feel interested in anyone the way I am with my ex.
There's one very important thing that you need to know about dating, period. And that's women aren't worth shit. So there's 1 billion women on the fucking planet. And you could get along happy and just fine with any number of them. So any chick you're fucking dating isn't worth shit. The things that men are interested in when it comes to dating, they're extremely plentiful. They're not rare. So if you're a man, you just want a chick who is attractive, is gonna have sex with you, and maybe shares a couple of your hobbies or interests. That's very easy to find. If you find a chick that matches those criteria, it's not like, oh my god, she's the one in 1 billion, oh, so special. No, she ain't worth shit. There's another few fucking billion of those girls walking around fucking planet Earth. So it's different when you're a woman looking for a partner, right? Because women are fucking insane and they're looking for somebody. Like the joke is, you know, like 6'6", six-figure income, 6 feet tall, at least 6-inch penis. Like they're looking for this, like these mix of traits that are in fact very rare, especially as they stack. Looking for a guy who has at least a 6-figure income, who's at least 6 feet tall, that at least has a 6-inch penis, that is also going to be faithful and not cheat, that's interested in having kids, like all these things. Like they're looking for somebody who's like exceptionally fucking rare. So for a woman dating a man who's looking for those qualities, like, yeah, that's something that's fucking rare, and you're going to want to, you know, kind of put more effort into the relationship to try and see if you can make it work, because the likelihood of you finding somebody with those qualities is going to be very low. But if you're a man, no, women ain't worth shit. You can toss them out and find a new one whenever the fuck you want. So don't ever feel bad about a breakup. Don't ever be like, oh my god, my girlfriend, I can't get over her. You're just being a bitch. Your girlfriend ain't worth shit. None of these women are worth shit. Just move on, get another fucking girlfriend if you want to date somebody else. It doesn't fucking matter. None of them are fucking worth anything. They're a very plentiful commodity. So, yeah, stop fucking worrying about it. Thanks for the donation, Steve. It did it again. Wasn't I literally just telling you all? I told YouTube, don't recommend this fuckhole's channel, and then it recommends his fucking channel again. There's no fucking winning. I can't escape these fucking assholes. The fuck?
A man drank 3 scoops of horse electrolytes at nighttime. This is what happened to his brain. HW is a 44.
That would have to be like ridiculously high amounts of sodium.
4-year-old man presenting to the emergency room,
Why would somebody
agitated,
do this?
confused, and with a massive headache. Paramedics tell the admitting nurse that they saw him have a seizure. When he regained consciousness, he had no idea where he was. The previous night, HW was with Mike. They had gotten to know each other 1 week earlier because HW had a girlfriend named Katie. He had been dating her for a couple of years. Mike also had a girlfriend he'd been dating for a couple years, also named Katie. And this week, both men found out they had the same girlfriend. Depressed, the men went into no contact with Katie, and HW and Mike got to know each other. HW had been having health problems. He was tired all the time. He had horrible
that's
insomnia,
hilarious.
but the doctor would tell him to get cognitive behavioral therapy. That never worked for him. His body ached and his head would hurt, and no amount of ibuprofen would fix anything. More recently, he had stomach pains that would cause him nausea and vomiting. He'd have weird spots on his skin. He couldn't get a good answer from the doctor about anything, but where he thought he got an answer was the farming supply store. One day, while browsing, he saw horse electrolytes. Horses are strong. They need to be well hydrated. If you wanted to be as strong as horses and electrolytes hydrate the horses, then the answer is right in front of him. He also saw someone tweet positively about it recently, so no better time than now to drink the horse electrolytes. Half a scoop and he'd feel great. Definitely no such thing as a placebo. With my
Dude, this guy is fucking unhinged. Who the fuck thinks like this? Oh my god.
HW talked about rehydration. He said that hangover is caused by massive urination of water. So if alcohol leads to water loss, but electrolytes replenish water, well then horse electrolytes will basically turn you into the fountain of youth. The more you drink, the stronger you'll be. And it was time for them to drink. HW became so inebriated that he couldn't even remember his own name. He dumped an unknown number of horse salt scoops into a cup and drank as one of the last things that he could remember. But the natural reaction kicked in. It was so much salt that it burned on the way down. His stomach felt like it was on fire. Hours later, on the couch, he suddenly got up in a world of hurt. He went to use the bathroom, and it was here where he has his first seizure. Mike got up at the commotion to see what was happening. Panicked, he calls for 911, and HW is brought to the emergency room, where we are now. Drinking a massive amount of supplement designed for a horse is going to cause problems if you're not a horse. One difference.
Steve $22, thanks for sure. That advice genuinely made me feel better. Lo, I guess I'm antisocial like you in a lot of ways. Do you plan on dating again anytime soon? Nope. I don't need to be nagged at or listen to some stupid, retarded bullshit about how ghosts are real. And no, trust me, I've actually seen ghosts, or some horseshit about fucking horoscopes or tarot cards or spirit realms. Or like some bullshit about like I just don't need to listen to fucking nagging and horseshit and nonsense just to get my fucking dick sucked. It's just not fucking worth it, dude. So yeah, I'm fine just being alone. Thanks for the donation, Steve.
Between animal and human supplements are the reported amounts. Typically, on human supplements, you'll see exact amounts per serving size. We tend to be familiar with and take more care of the needs of our own. But animal supplements, on the other hand, aren't quite as exact. They cite ranges or guarantee minimums. And there's a lot of variability in humans, no doubt, but with how much larger a horse is than a human, the differences from one horse to another, just from a number standpoint, might be greater, so this should make sense. What also makes sense is what's happening to HW. Let's suppose that he took just 3 scoops, and conservatively, we use the maximum values when a range is cited, and we use the minimum value when there is no range, and we can go right through the list. Copper is a metal. It's used by our bodies to make chemical reactions happen. The highest concentrations are in the brain, liver, and kidneys. Too much copper in the body can stress the cells, but horse electrolytes is made of 0.001% copper. Even in 3 full scoops, this isn't even close to cause HW's problems. Zinc is also a metal sometimes considered the opposite of copper in the body, because when you take copper, your body eliminates zinc, and when you take zinc, your body eliminates copper. Zinc is also used to make different chemical reactions happen. The amount of zinc in horse electrolyte is a little high for humans, but not high enough to cause any of HW's problems. Iron is a metal commonly found in our red blood cells, where it's critical to holding on to oxygen. Too much iron can be corrosive. It can destroy the metabolism and injure cells. But the horse electrolytes that HW took didn't contain enough iron to do any of this in 3 scoops. and potassium. There's a lot of potassium in our body, mostly inside cells. It sends signals for the body to do things. The most immediately life-threatening thing that high potassium can do is stop the heart. But the kidneys are very efficient in getting rid of potassium, and HW doesn't have anything wrong with his kidneys, so there's not enough here to cause him problems. Calcium is a mineral that's used by the body to make bones, and also to send signals inside cells. Too much calcium can cause electrical discharge in the brain, and it can shut down the kidneys. HW would have gotten a maximum dose of almost 8 grams. This can cause symptoms, most notably one that he already has, coma. But the kidneys have a way to filter this out fairly efficiently, so it might not be that big of a problem if he really did take just 3 scoops. Manganese is also a metal that's used by the body for chemical reactions. Horses probably need a lot of it to maintain their normal function, and humans aren't horses. Their bodies do more work than ours. They're bigger than us. When we get too much manganese, bad things can start to happen to the brain. This could explain HW's seizure and unconsciousness because the 3 scoops of horse electrolytes that he took is 1,500% more than normal human daily intake. And while this is high, it's not the highest thing that he took. Salt is sodium chloride, and what's listed as sodium is likely a form of sodium bicarbonate because pure sodium metal explodes when you put it in water, so there's no way that they put pure sodium in here. Combining the total sodium content means that 60% of the 3 scoops contain sodium. This functionally comes out to as much sodium as 1/3 cup of salt, and that's more than the lethal dose of sodium. A blood test predictably finds that HW has hypernatremia. Hyper meaning high, natri referring to sodium, or more formally natrium as shown by its symbol on the periodic table of elements, and emia meaning presence in blood. High sodium presence in blood. The reason that this is so life-threatening is because wherever sodium is, water will flow towards it. In this small science experiment, I dissolve horse electrolyte in this water and place it into a tube. I submerge the tube in a pool of distilled water, and you'll see that water flows into the tube. That water flows towards the sodium. If HW has high sodium presence in blood, then it means that water is flowing out of his organs and into his blood. This is probably fine for organs like the liver, and maybe there's even no problem for the muscles. But where it's going to be a problem is something delicate like the brain. He had a seizure, he was confused. These are brain problems. Inside his skull, his brain has been shrinking as water is getting sucked out, and in the resulting deformation, blood vessels can get sheared, causing a brain bleed, leading to permanent damage if nothing is done about this. If high sodium is present in his blood and water follows that sodium, then one solution is to give him less salty water. This will stop water from exiting his organs, it'll stop the things that are happening to his brain, and it should help get his kidneys to flush out all the excess horse electrolytes that he drank. But the problem is, doctors don't know how long ago he drank this, and this is important because it changes how they're going to treat him. Water doesn't only follow salt, it'll follow some other chemicals too. When the brain's size suddenly changes, the brain tries to compensate. It'll try to pump sodium and those other chemicals in to try and maintain water balance. But this compensation happens over time, and those other chemicals that were pumped in aren't normally supposed to be in the brain, and they can't easily get pumped out. Actually, they can cause damage in the brain when it returns to normal. So this means if the medical team reverses HW's
This is so fucking bizarre that this guy was able to do this to himself. If you consumed that much fucking sodium, like, that would just taste disgusting.
WTF, you're still streaming? Would have figured you would fall asleep by now. What happened, nigga?
Yeah, whatever, shut up. Thanks for the Nation 21st. Like, this guy just seems like a psychotic retard. The amount of sodium this guy would have had to have fucking eaten in this horse electrolyte. Like, he's unhinged and fucking retarded.
Joey is so handsome that when he looked at me for an extended period of time, I felt like I was getting a brain bleed. He is one of the most beautiful cats I've ever seen. Say yes, yes, yes if you agree.
That's amazing. Oh my god, he's so handsome. I agree, he is one of the most beautiful cats. Highly sentient. Thanks for the donation, though, Ethan, though. Why do you take Boldenone? Primarily for the collagen synthesis benefits. Oh, helps with joint and tissue integrity. It's also just an additional anabolic and, whatnot.
Hypernatremia too quickly and his brain has already tried to adapt, then permanent damage will happen. But on the flip side, not treating him now is also going to cause permanent damage if it hasn't already happened. It's a few days later in the hospital. HW's serum sodium was corrected. He sits there with his eyes open, but when doctors try to speak to him, he just stares blankly into the void. It's possible that permanent damage has happened, but was it from the treatment or had it already happened? Hypernatremia's permanent damage would be the brain bleeding from the shrinking and shearing, but rapid correction's permanent damage is something called osmotic demyelination. Myelin being the fatty sheath that covers the brain and the nerves, and osmotic referring to osmosis, the mechanism whereby water flows towards where there's sodium or other chemicals, both of which we would call solute. This means that due to the inappropriate movement of solute and the subsequent water flow, the brain and the nerves are suffering demyelination. And given that myelin helps move electrical signals along the nerve, it means that HW might have trouble controlling his body with his brain. His muscles can't work. He might have problems with his senses, and his brain itself might not work. He might have cognitive problems. It was hard for him to stand. When he could, doctors asked him to close his eyes, and then they saw that he was unstable and needed to hold onto something until he opened his eyes. His speech was incoherent. Typically, when the patellar tendon is tapped, it triggers a reflex in the leg. When the response is diminished, it indicates that something is wrong. And in HW, his response was diminished. And this wasn't the only reflex that had a problem. HW also didn't have a vibratory sense in his lower extremities. Something happened to his brain. If it's demyelination, that should be visible on MRI, except when the medical team do that MRI, they didn't see demyelination. Really, they didn't see anything wrong. Sometimes demyelination takes a few weeks to be visible on the image, so this doesn't mean absolutely that he doesn't have it. Clearly, HW's brain damage wasn't from the hypernatremia drinking those horse electrolytes. It's unclear if his brain was damaged because doctors fixed his hypernatremia too fast, or if something else was going on. And as the days continue, it starts to become apparent that something else had been happening. HW had prior health problems that he said he never got a good answer for. One of them was a horrible stomach pain. In the hospital, he refused to eat, and doctors discovered why. It was painful for him to eat. Extreme salt ingestion can sometimes irritate the lining of the esophagus and the stomach. This can cause burns, so they sent a scope down his throat to take a look, and instead, they found ulcers. The problem was, they didn't look like they were from salt, so doctors took a sample to find out what they were. This could be peptic ulcer disease, which is typically caused by the bacteria Helicobacter pylori, but when doctors tested for H. pylori, it returned negative. These ulcers were being caused by something else.
That muffin donate $2. If I sent you the video you're reacting to right now, you would have called it retarded and refused to watch it. So why are you watching it? Probably not. Thanks for the donation, dude.
The days passed, HW's hypernatremia normalized, but nothing else was improving. He still couldn't feel anything in his legs. His reflexes were impaired. He still couldn't stand while closing his eyes, and he was incoherent. Doctors ordered a lumbar puncture. The brain and the spinal cord are surrounded by cerebrospinal fluid. It acts like a cushion to protect the brain, and it removes waste products from the brain, and it helps with nutrient transport. The puncture collects some of the fluid to sample, and when doctors take a look, they find low sugar, high protein, and white blood cells. None of these are normal, but they didn't find anything else. However, this did give the medical team an idea of what was happening. Back at the stomach ulcer biopsy, doctors had put a stain so that they could have a better idea of what was in there. When they magnified the image, they found a spiral-shaped bacteria present among white blood cells, and suddenly, everything made sense. Syphilis is caused by a spiral-shaped bacteria named Treponema pallidum. It's an STD. Contact with an infected person's sore.
This guy had syphilis and he went to the doctor over and over again and they couldn't fucking give him a diagnosis. That's fucking modern medicine for you. Jeez. This guy had a syphilis infection that was causing his health issues. And he went to the doctor over and over again. And you're like, like, holy shit.
Called a chancre will often transfer the bacteria. Microabrasions will develop at the points of contact. You know how that happens, allowing the treponema to get in, especially if it's a mucosal surface like the mouth. The initial infection is the chancre. It's typically visible in men because of anatomy, but sometimes it's not easily visible, like bottom of the shaft. Most of the time, it doesn't cause any pain. The immune system reacts, and it does a good job. The sore goes away, and everything seems fine. But the treponema bacteria is floating around in the blood and is spreading everywhere. And eventually, it learns to hide from the immune system, staying dormant in the body for anywhere from weeks to years, only to emerge as a variety of problems like horrible-looking skin rash, hair loss, ulcers all over, inside and outside the body. And it can get into the muscles, it can shut down the kidneys, and worst of all, it can get into the brain, causing the exact problems that HW is having. At this realization, doctors drew HW's blood and did an antibody test for treponema, and it returned positive, meaning that HW has syphilis. And he had it for some time. It's no longer the initial infection, it's the one that's been growing in his stomach, and it's now spread to his brain.
Great.
It's responsible for some of the spots on his body that were covered by clothes. He didn't have osmotic demyelination syndrome. The medical team corrected his hypernatremia in time. He didn't have permanent damage from the hypernatremia itself. In the days leading up to him drinking the massive amount of horse electrolyte, he had been intermittently having worsening problems. He had been losing weight because his stomach kept hurting. He had been losing hair. His insomnia was becoming severe, and he had urinary incontinence. Syphilis cases have been going up in the United States since 2011, and starting in 2016, they increased rapidly. In the early 2020s, the cases increased so rapidly that there's been a nationwide shortage of the medicine needed to treat it. And even worse, there's new evidence that Treponema pallidum is changing its DNA in ways that we haven't observed before. Some of these changes may one day make the current treatment ineffective because the bacteria has mutated once before to resist the medicine that we used to use. I explain this more on my in-depth channel Heme Review, link in the description below. If HW has a bacteria...
Yeah, he made a good video on that. There's actually reason to believe that syphilis may end up becoming treatment resistant again.
Infection, then antibiotic is his treatment. Luckily, it was in stock, and luckily right now, it's still penicillin. Horse electrolytes became a meme in 2024. There's been a trend of Americans using horse products. I broke it down for you. In an acute setting, the sodium is for sure
using horse steroids.
be the most immediately scary one, followed by manganese and then the calcium in this particular formulation. There might be different ones on the shelf. There's other factors that I don't really quite know about, like how is this product prepared? My guess is, at a minimum, it might be considered gross or unclean to human standards, but anyone working in food preparation knows everything is gross. If someone has gotten to the point...
Yeah, the new Predator movie might be good. I'm not sure if it's going to be good, but it could be good.
Where they're actually drinking this, I doubt that they really care if something is clean or not. Different products might have different amounts of electrolytes, but they're all going to say for use in horses only because they're for horses. And it doesn't matter what you think, if you're a human, you're not a horse. One thing that HW was correct about was that having something salty does somewhat help prevent hangovers. And this is because when you drink alcohol, it inhibits anti-diuretic hormone. If a diuretic causes you to urinate, an anti-diuretic prevents you from urinating. But alcohol inhibits the release of anti-diuretic hormone, so a negative is a positive, so you get diuretic. The gratuitous water loss gets you that headache. But if sodium causes you to hold onto water because water follows sodium, then that blunts the effect of alcohol as a diuretic. And that's why we have beer nuts and bar pretzels. They do in fact blunt some hangover if you're smart about it and you keep your water intake high. You might still feel some pain because that's a little bit beyond water. That's the acetaldehyde being produced in your body. And we have horse salt, but this is for horses. Hopefully you're not giving your horses alcohol. By the 6th day of treatment, the medical team started noticing that HW's appetite was improving, although he still had intermittent nausea. His attention and thought processes were improving. His neurologic exam was showing that his reflexes were no longer diminished, and he had a better vibratory sense. And by day 14, he was starting to improve to the point where he could be discharged soon. Luckily, his hypernatremia that came from actions done during a state of inebriation was corrected in time before his brain was able to compensate. And luckily, he had a diligent medical team that were able to find and treat him for the real problem that he had, because it is one that's sometimes hard to identify, but is increasingly becoming more common now and changing in ways that we haven't seen before. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourself and be
So he probably got the syphilis from his cheating dumb bitch girlfriend. I wonder if that other dude that he was like becoming friends with also got the syphilis. What a fucking cunt. Oh. All right. I'm gonna do bed sleep. Sleeping bed sleep time now. I don't have to train tomorrow, so I'll probably game tomorrow. Actually, we'll probably try to do a Battletoads full run through tomorrow, since I don't have to train and I'll have that extra free time. So maybe we'll try to do a Battletoads run through tomorrow. But hope you all had fun. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Really appreciate it. And I will see you all tomorrow. Sweet dreams.